two hangars on this premium in Centennial South. It's called
Douglas County cheap shit.
Centennial. It's wonderful, but it's south of the runway. It's the south area, the new area.
So that's Douglas County.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's airport authority. So yeah, it's you deal with the authority more than anyone.
You don't have to deal with Douglas County.
Yeah, but if the airport authority does it, you know what I'm saying? It's really the airport. So
got a nice little
this is premier property, but the whole project for 2
Look at this. I got
me dead in
34 shares of Sprint.
was like it turned out that
I had
the
the
basis
old-
of the hangar.
I had an old account that I didn't know I had, and last time I was talking to him, they said, how about this one? He said there's $980 in there and 34 shares of Sprint.
But the beautiful big hangars and office spaces up. The guys were told me absolutely positively sure it had gone down. I crazy.
I only have 34 shares.
Don't they pay big?
I bought my hangar for $3 something. It's worth $3.
Maybe that's where that cash came over the last 10 years.
That's for a little single.
Because I couldn't figure out why I had 980 in
no
there.
jets. Although,
And I did zero
okay,
reporting
so
on it.
you could put a
Show you
T
how
in
the
it or
IRS
something like that.
does.
But
Literally, I've had it 10 years in it.
these hangars are turning
Although I
out
never
to be
sold anything.
individually like $1 million.
Oh,
Big hangars.
it was a simple IRA.
Who pays that? Who's going to pay it?
What's the rent?
So I
Well,
just
that's what he
combined
said.
it.
You make your money in the rent, he said.
My,
You don't try. It's
traditional
not a resale product. It's an annuity.
Teaching.
So on rent, you definitely get a return on investment. Definitely. In fact, you don't even have to work at it. You'll get a return. But I always look at resale. How much can I sell it for? And they said as a deal, it's not a resale deal. That's not why you do it. You do it for annuity, and then when you sell it for cash flow. You don't make a big profit on the sale. You make good investment.
In annuity, can't you take a 10-year depreciation rate on it? Because it's not real estate.
I think so. Here's the deal. I have all my numbers, and I have the project drawn out, and I have the property, and the property's still available. And we could do 2 beautiful premier hangars with offices and apartments. And I'll finish it, but I'm not sure.
Did you finish your,
Because now, rent-wise,
will you eat tonight?
but where I get into trouble, I want to help you with that. And then that cuts down we return. Because that would be the most. It's a hangar I would normally rent for myself, right? So then that takes all that. Unless I take a section of it and let them have it.
You know, another thing is if you're busy.
I could probably turn one into
And last night I had the curbs clean stuff.
me and other guys like me, and then the other one just.
Oh, how'd that guy do?
He's a
Great guy. He really is. Yeah. I mean, my curbs are older and stuff, but he's a good job. He's a hard worker. I talked with him about half hour, 45 minutes. Big trunk.
My hangar stuff.
Big trunk.
My hangar project. It was.
He got outed by the community.
No, this thing's already built, you're saying, right?
Family's also.
It's already built.
That's what he said.
Does it have to be built or is it already built?
No,
I didn't even know they had a Star Wars.
It would have to be built.
Okay, what?
But I have all the ground and everything. Okay, 1.6.
They're voting on,
I think total bid for everything.
What did that come out to per square foot?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That last Fox News poll was
I'd have to
fucking weird.
But
The one right before it had a 9, had it swapped. How can the polls be that off?
Is this the one the latest?
Although they were all, think of how off they were for the presidential election. They say it's going to be nothing but.
I know back when we were building,
But
I
a
know
lot of
it's
it
not
is
way up. We were building
people.
for about 30 cents a
Buddies
square
here?
foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Colorado. But
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna call the guy or email and get some updates.
did you go to a contractor for a turnkey contract on the thing?
Yes. So we can get it cheaper than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we
I don't know what the
general and just
polls.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people is, just like I
Save a lot right there for the general
people didn't want to admit
Counts 30, at least about 30%.
chicken shits.
No, it's true though. Why create? No. But look at the other side.
It's a
Who gives
poll.
a shit?
It's a poll.
Yeah.
But I think for anybody who would say, "Oh, I didn't vote for him," I mean,
If it was a CNN poll, I'd be like, okay, I get it, but it wasn't.
you're saying people would lie.
Are you talking about more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't get it how you have one poll that's got one guy up 9%, Then a week later, another poll, it's got the other guy up 10%. It's just fucking crazy.
Which one went up later? More?
More is 10% up in the Fox poll.
10% down.
Or down, yeah.
Because I think when the allegation first came out, it hit him hard, but as the time's going on,
Oh, by the way, you're talking about the accusers for Trump now?
No.
You knew that was going to happen. Women coming forward.
Oh, they did come.
Those are the same. Those are the same women that came forward during the election. There's no. It's the same shit.
Same ones.
They're just bringing it up again.
But you see, everything was, nothing was like he grabbed him or anything. One, he says he forcibly kissed her. She was old.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at her going, boy, I don't know about this whole deal. I'm not kidding, man.
She's stage grabbed.
Look who he's married to and who he's been married to and who he's dated. And that broad's trying to say what?
you know, I've got a, I call her my communist lesbian mentally ill sister. But my middle sister's...
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is our number, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in this universe. And the longest-running radio show with the same host. And we love what we do. Why do I love what I do? Because I can help people. I love when I run into somebody, right? They're 30 years old, and they say, Tom, my parents listened to you from the time I was a little baby, and you helped us with this. Or someone else says, hey, one time we were going to lose our home, and you helped us. Or one time somebody ripped us off in a car deal, and you helped. Or some people say, well, Tom, we called, you couldn't help us, it was too late. But the point is this is the central location. This is Denver's town hall. This is where the old town meetings, the backyard over the fence meetings, but except we give you many, many ears. We're an aggregate for consumer problems, questions, and complaints, way more than the Better Business Bureau or any other organization, because you hear it live, you hear it first. What's trending, we keep you informed. That's why our referral list is so important. We have the best of the best because we know who the liars, cheats, and ripoffs are. We handle the problems for all those other lists when they call us. We always get calls, always. I mean, I don't think a week goes by, we don't get calls from people who used Andy's list or used Home Advisor or used Craigslist or used some other list and had a problem, and we take care of it. So prevent problems. Be smarter. Referralist.com. Then call us for help. We love helping people. We have a lot of follow-ups. Suzanne, I would love to just go down a list of follow-ups. We have so many of them. Anybody working on anything that comes to mind? Dan,
I gotta pull my list up, Tom.
Let's pull our list of follows. Suzanne keeps a list of follow-ups. Meanwhile, if you have any questions on anything we've handled, let us know. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, remember that they put you in loans unique to you, not just one size fits all. You don't even have to have a 30-year loan or a 20 or a 15. You can do any term you want. They also have an interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, whether you bought or refinanced, they refinance you free of charge. That's right, you just pay the normal stuff, you know, like taxes and stuff, but no other charges. They also have credit optimization. Even if you're approved, you can still do better. That's right, most everyone has minor things on their credit that can be tweaked to help you get better credit score, and that means better pricing on the back end. In one case, they were able to save somebody, just on that tweaking, a couple $100 a month. Think about that. All right, 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. I've known Brent and that team for years and years. Let's keep going. We have a problem here with a refund with Bob. Bob, hi. What's happening, sir?
Well,
hi, Bob.
I purchased a portable oxygen concentrator, and it didn't meet my needs, and the company said if it didn't work for you, you could send it back within 30 days.
Now, Bob, did you buy this over the internet?
No.
Okay, where did you buy it?
Over the phone.
Where? Where is this place located?
It's located in Texas.
How did you find them?
Advertisement on TV.
Okay, and it's an oxygen concentrator.
Yes.
Okay, and what's the problem?
Well, that was in September, and it's now December. I haven't got my refund yet.
But you sent it back.
Yes.
All right. This is an easy one, I think, unless they went out of business or they're liars. But or cheaters, but it sounds to me like they're a company that's been around. I mean, because you know, they did advertising on TV, they did send it to you, you did get the product. What's the name of the company?
Innogen.
What?
Innogen.
Innogen, like innovation. Yeah. Innogen. Okay, yeah. Anything else you can tell us? I mean, how long has it been now since it's been back?
September.
Can you prove that 30-day money-back guarantee?
They still advertise on TV.
They still do.
Ad all the time.
All right, we'll look it up online too. Hold on. I think Deputy Clint could probably handle something like this, or Deputy Daff. Who should we give this to? Well, maybe Deputy Daff first, because this is. I think Deputy Daff can get to the bottom of this one pretty quickly. We have so many good people that get to problems. Are you working on anything, Clint? Yes, you can just wave your head. No. Is everything solved? Did we put everything on the air that you worked on? Have we?
Everything that's been worth it. Tom, you know the one last week, the guy that called with all the particles in the air in his condo?
Oh, don't tell us. I want to know. We sent a deputy out.
Yeah, we did. You want to know now?
I want to talk to the deputy. Where is he?
Oh, that's Deputy Nate. I don't think he'll be in until tomorrow.
I'd like to get his rendition.
I thought the guy was nuts.
Now, I'll give you a hint. He went there because this guy said, if you come, you're going to see all kinds of particles. Let me give you some background.
In 2 places.
The guy said he lived in an apartment. It wasn't a home or
a condo.
Condo. And all of a sudden, he noticed particles in the air. And he believes it's because of what?
The insulation in the attic or something like that.
What happened?
It's
there was a repair.
The walls.
But wasn't there a repair or something done recently?
Remember, it was like 2011.
Is Nate on the phone? Can we get Nate on the phone?
I can try. He might be flying.
He might be flying. Let's see. We'll get him on the phone if we can. We have a lot of pilots. Not a lot. We have 2 that work here when they're not piloting. We'll see what we can get. Well, technically, Deputy.
We used to have a third. One of my favorites. The third.
Yeah?
Yep.
Who?
Oh, the one you guys wanted to get rid of, and I wanted to keep.
Mark.
I did not get rid of that deputy.
Okay.
Suzanne asked.
He does his job, and what happened?
Oh, I don't want to start that controversy today. Anyway, Seth, what's happening, sir? Seth?
Hey. Sorry,
hey, man, can you close the cockpit canopy?
yeah, sorry about that.
What's the noise, really? What is the noise, Seth?
Driving in a truck. You're on Bluetooth.
Really? It's that noisy in your cab?
Yeah, windows up and everything. Is it that bad, Tom?
Is it a big rig?
No, just a 150.
Oh, just your truck. Okay, what's happening?
So, yeah, quick question about qualifying events for enrollment in insurance. I'm currently on a COBRA plan. I was with the union and left the union, but their insurance was stellar, so I kept it, and I'm paying out of pocket for it. Just got a notification that their cost is going to go up significantly at the beginning of 2018. So I'm wondering if I opt to stop paying for that insurance, if I can go through open enrollment with the company that I'm working for currently.
Seth, first of all, I want to tell you something about COBRA. It's almost never a great deal, so you were lucky you found it. Also, even if prices did not go up, COBRA is only temporary. So I don't know how long you can keep it. You can't keep it more than a year, I don't think. And
it's 18 months for ours.
All right, good. Well, here's the deal. You asked if you can go through open enrollment. First of all, for open enrollment, you don't need a qualifying event for open enrollment. It's open enrollment, meaning right now, it started in November, it goes through December and part of January, I think, but open enrollment is for everyone. You can shop insurance, and we always say go to Integra Insurance Group. It's really important because they are brokers. It doesn't cost you an extra dime.
And he'll compare it. John or John Jr. will compare it to what that COBRA coverage would be.
Right? And they all work
because
together.
Nowadays, his COBRA could be better, man, after you add up all the Obamacare fees.
But you're talking about better. But, Mark, remember, it's only for 18 months total.
That's right.
But you're talking about with the increase, it could still be better.
Yeah.
So they will compare all of that for you. And then, Seth, if you're outside of open enrollment, the qualifying event is a change of job, a change in coverage, meaning that your COBRA expired,
moving,
a marriage, or any life-changing event can do that. So you're right now. You should do that. And Integra Group's number is I just called it this morning. Suzanne, you got that number, Suzanne, handy? She's not there right now. Okay, we'll find it and we'll give it out for everyone. Well, you got it, Mark?
Yeah, 303-252-1111.
No. Is that the... why do I call 5500?
I don't know.
Okay.
They might have a different number,
Is that the one they're
too.
advertising?
Yeah, I just pulled it up on Google. 303-252-1111.
For Integra Insurance Group.
That's right.
See, Suzanne's even shaking her head. But he found it online. I don't know. Now, Pete Scheinberg, one of our clients with Mr. Dino's, Suzanne, I want you to call him. He has an idea he ran by me last night, and he just asked if we could call him. You wait till you hear this idea. I think it's a cool idea. He's been with us a while on referral list, many years. Anyway, wait till you hear this idea, Mark. I think it's very cool. It's going to be, it's a very good idea.
Innovative.
He's got a good idea, and I want to take him up on it. So, Pete, you're listening. You just texted me. We're going to call you. And we took care of Seth. Let's go now and talk to Chris. And Chris, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I switched over to AT&T down in south part of Colorado Springs, beginning of last month.
Okay.
They set me up in a bundle. I asked them 3 times specifically if the internet they were going to put me in was going to run everything. They said, yeah.
You know, when people say they ask specifically, that does help a bit, but it's not a contract. So it's like run everything. What does it mean? Hold on, we're going to analyze it and see what we can do for you. I want to tell you about this Christmas special now. Here for the holidays. Get it? Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Here for the holidays. I love that. Here's what it is.
Bravo.
10 slots are open right now for $1,000 off hearing aids. They're the new hearing aids that are smartphone compatible. If you've had a hearing aid, you know they have little control units. These control units, you know, it's a separate piece of equipment. Right now, it's just pairs with your cell phone. You can even take calls with it. And they're hearing aids. It's a wonderful idea, but here's what's great about the hearing aids. They help with tinnitus and with hearing loss, and you get $1,000 off if you're part of these 10. We've been lucky enough now to do about 30. We do 10 at a time as the manufacturer allows us. Here's what I want to tell you, though. If you call and qualify and you get an evaluation and then decide not to buy, you're not forced to buy, but you're just putting in a reservation for that $1,000 off. So go for an evaluation. You can decide later if you want to buy it, but you do get $1,000 off. Obviously, we want people who are pretty serious because you're taking one of 10 slots today. Only 10 people will qualify, and that's Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, 303-534-0163, 303-534-0163.
This report is brought to you by Panera Bread.
Few slow spots at 9:20.
4 a.m. We
About
left
5 minutes from my house.
at 8.
5 minutes from my house, so.
That's a neat little area, that little downtown. What is that called?
Arvada. Old Town
Just
Arvada.
Old Town Arvada. It's weird. I think of Arvada. I don't think of that nice little area.
Yeah. No, that's what it used to be, and now it's all suburbs. Housing development.
You had a nice crew there, though, man.
What was the place?
You should see how much they've grown over the last 2 years, Tom.
It's a place called Schoolhouse. Really nice.
Yeah, I went to his Christmas party 2 years ago. He had maybe a couple salespeople and then some installers. Well, what we should have done is taken your helicopter so I could have got there on the same day. It's so far. How far is your warehouse from there?
About 3 miles.
Okay,
So 52nd and Worth.
When the river goes up 50 feet.
I'll call them after the
50
show.
feet, their stuff has to go up that high. They just put 4 poles, big, 8-foot poles at the corners of the property, and they float. So as the river floats, they just move up. The river moves so slow during flood stages, it won't wash anything away.
Huh, that's interesting.
But it's called Wrightsville. And down Southern Ohio. Next to that is a place called Blue Creek. And Blue Creek has the designation of all the old cowboys, Roy Rogers and Roy Rogers, I think the other guy. Really old guys, really old, like even silent stars. All come from this one little town. There's like 4 guys that were in the movies. They all come from this little bitty town.
Becca owner. What was Roy Rogers' horse name?
Trigger.
What was Dale Evans' horse name?
Ooh, that one I don't know.
Buttercup.
Buttercup, yeah.
Today at 4 on 630
And Lassie was a boy. And,
I don't know about that.
well, some of the I think the first Lassie was.
Transgender.
How about the red bird? He transgender into a poodle.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, to take complaints. Simply Floors is with us today, Buddy Mitchell, so we can talk floor coverings. And one thing I really want to talk about is how you evaluate carpeting. He did it once before. He's a very smart guy, and he broke it down piece by piece. Then I also want to talk about hardwoods and engineered flooring and all kinds of stuff. It's very educational. But if you have any questions about floor covering, give me a call. When it comes to tile, one quick question I have is about grout. People get bent out of shape if their grout has any chips or cracks in it. We had one woman. Now she had a overall bad project and she needs to be helped. I think Clint was on, Deputy Clint took that case. But one of the pictures, there were hairline cracks and grout. I mean, big deal, I say. But I don't know, Buddy Mitchell, just as an aside, grout, it's not structural, is it? It's decorative, right? It's just to fill in the gaps between tile. Isn't it really? It doesn't actually stick the tile. I mean,
no.
Well, it's just decorative or to fill in the gap, right?
It also seals. It seals.
It seals so things don't get underneath.
Right. So when you thin set the tile down and it dries, you can't put it. It doesn't. It's not sealed. So the grout is a concrete.
Okay, so it keeps water from getting down in it.
Yeah, that's its primary. Water will still get in it. You can seal it, but that's its primary.
Okay.
And to make it look like a solid piece.
All right, I understand. Right. And to clean grout is just for aesthetics.
Right.
And then to regrout would be if it's cracking or chipping and water can get in there and hurt it.
They probably used a sand or a unsanded grout, and then they just needed to go in, and that's probably why it cracked.
All right. And that's Buddy Mitchell. We'll talk to him more at Simply Floors, Inc. Now, Deputy Nate is out today, but I wanted to get him on the phone to talk about particles in the air. Nate, hold on one sec before you tell us your report. But this guy lived in a condo, and what happened where he started noticing these particles? Did he have construction done, or what changed? There was something that happened.
Well, this actually started in his townhome, yeah.
Well, how did it start? Was it after something in the townhome? Was the roof replaced? What happened that had him looking around?
So he started construction in his house himself, actually, probably 4 or 6 months ago.
Doing what?
And well, he basically was tearing up the floors, redoing everything.
Okay, he was redoing stuff. And then
it was massively under construction.
And then once it was done, though, he had a problem. What was it?
Well, it wasn't done. And that's, I think, the problem, is that it's not complete. He's done work. He's had people come in and do work for him as well.
But he said there were particles in the air. Explain that.
Yeah. So when he showed me his house,
I don't want to know what you found. I want to know what his complaint was before you tell me what you found. His complaint was there were particles in the air.
Yeah, he was talking about insulation particles.
Right. He said somehow there's
it was crazy.
Like a draft in the attic or something he thought was blowing.
What he made it sound like. Yeah,
right.
He made it sound like, oh my gosh, it's like a dust storm of this stuff in
here.
So
and then he moved. Then he moved temporarily while he's working on his townhome. And where did he move to?
Well, he moved to this apartment complex right by 24 Hour Fitness.
And he said he had this a similar problem there.
I guess so.
Did he say how that happened?
Showed up there. Well, no, he didn't.
Okay, he just said he
just showed up there, and so he asked me, and he's like, "Well, don't you see it?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, can't you?"
Where? I mean, so did you go to the townhome and the condo?
I went to both. Yeah.
All right. What did you do first?
I went to his apartment complex first,
where he's temporarily staying, and he said it was particularly bad that day. Can you see it?
Correct. And he was wearing a mask when I got there.
Okay,
like a mask, so like
maybe he had really bad dandruff.
So you're walking around wondering what the heck is he talking about?
Yeah. So then he turns the lights off and he turns on a flashlight and says, "Here, man, look at all these particles in the air." And I'm like, "Well, that's totally normal."
Well, have you ever been near a window when the sun shines in some days and you see those little tiny dust particles?
That's exactly what he was trying to show me, and I'm like, that's not a problem. That's totally normal. Air is filled with that.
Clint,
stuff.
What were you going to say?
Tom, any time I've worked around where we've been working in insulation, if you don't have the Tyvek suits and throw them away, you carry it in your house.
Well, I know that, but this is not the case.
It ends up everywhere.
This is a normal. This is the normal apartment we're talking about.
But
there was no work being done. This is an apartment that is
but I'm saying he carried it home with him.
Well, I don't think so. I think you can go to the nut house with him, Clint. I'm telling you.
He was. So Tom, he was trying to get out of his lease because he couldn't stay there because it like hurt his lungs and all that stuff. So he finally got out of his lease, and then he said, "All right, well, let me show you my house." So now he's probably going to stay at his house now. But I walked in his house, and he's like, "Well, it wasn't. I mean, this is not right because like around 3 o'clock, the air, particles were just flowing in, and this has never been like this." So
wait.
Almost like I showed up at the time when it wasn't bad or something, and there wasn't any issues.
But when you went there, Nate, and it's obviously having work done, when you went into that apartment or into his townhome, did he acknowledge it wasn't bad that day, or did he expect you to see something?
Well, he acknowledged that it wasn't bad at that time that I showed up, and he said, "Oh, I was here earlier today, and it was light."
But at the apartment, he was raving about these particles.
Yeah.
I think this is some kind of psychosis. I really do. I mean, sure, you can bring particles in with you and carry, but we're not talking about that, right, Nate? You're talking about normal stuff.
Yeah.
You found nothing wrong. You found nothing wrong at all. And this guy was saying he's living in complete pollution.
Yeah, I mean, from his explanations, it sounded like that there was like a dust storm of this insulation dust like coming through the walls. That's what he made it sound like. But when I showed up, I'm like, this is totally normal to me.
And your skin was not itchy or anything?
No, And he's like, "Can you feel it hit your face?" I'm like, "No."
I think now I don't want to make fun of this guy. By the way, we went out to see him because
he's a really nice guy.
We wanted to know if we could help him, but we have to acknowledge now. And it's not just a coincidence. He had a head injury, didn't he?
Yeah, so he was in a car accident.
And had a bad head injury.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Wait, it was that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was 10 years ago.
Well, why would it manifest now?
I don't know.
But
I mean, he seems really sharp. Like when you talk with him, he just seems really sharp. But what I did do is because he's got to get his house fixed. He's got to get all this construction done. He's got to get his floors finished. He's got to get all this done.
But there's something off.
So, possibly. But,
well, you were there. Possibly.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. Either it's a problem or not. Because and how coincidental that it happened at both places.
Well, I know, I found that interesting.
Now, Deputy Clint is making a case that it's like Linus. He's bringing it with him or whatever. What's the guy's name on Peanuts, where that dust cloud follows him? What is that? Who's that guy?
That blanket.
Pigpen. It's that he just this cloud follows him wherever he goes. I'm thinking that there's more of something going on mentally, and I mean that. We've had cases. We've had cases where people have this problem, and they'll swear to God that it is happening. There was this one guy that called our show, and he said there were tiny, tiny, tiny little insects burrowing into his skin, and he had to scratch to get them out. So his wife was concerned, And she kind of believed him, but then, you know how they're just nice people. I think they were farmers. And she wanted to believe him, but she wanted our opinion. And he's trying to itch. Doctors could find nothing. And then he would itch so much, his skin would get raw. Then he resorted to taking a propane torch, and he would hold the torch on his arm a few inches away just to burn the surface of his skin. And his skin would ooze, and he was getting infections, and his arms were swollen, and he was slowly killing himself trying to find these insects burrowing into his skin. Now, the worst thing that can happen to you in a case like that is you get a healthcare provider who's a quack, and they want to give you something either homeopathic or color or you know, aromatherapy or something. Not that I don't believe any of those have benefit. I don't know in some cases, and I'm not going to talk against things I don't understand. But I will tell you, in these cases, they take advantage of people like that. You know, and they give things names, and they say, you got this and we can treat it with this. This poor guy, I don't know whatever happened to him, but the closest thing we came to a medical diagnosis was Morgellons disease, but he didn't really have that. Morgellons. Now, everybody listening or near a computer, they're going to a computer right now and they're Googling Morgellons disease. It's M-O-R-G-E-L-L-O-N-S, Morgellons disease. That was the closest we came to a medical diagnosis, but it turned out he did not have it. It is a very rare disease if you look it up. Okay, we got more coming up. This is, you know, you never know what you're going to hear about on this show. We'll go back to the phones, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is a time of year where people make stupid mistakes like drinking and driving. Joseph A. Lazzara can help you through a troubled time. But we can help you even better if you listen to this. Don't drink and drive. Or get Uber or Lyft apps on your phone. I love them. I don't like Uber so much because of the hacking. I don't want to get into it. But I love Lyft. And then what you can do also is you can get a designated driver. Here's the point, though. Even if you try to calculate, you may not be accurate. Most of Joe's clients are people who they're not drunks. They didn't think, oh, I'm going to get past the system, I'm going to drink and drive. There are people who tried to calculate, and they were wrong. They had no idea they were intoxicated. If you need help, just keep this name handy. I'm serious, because it'll turn your life upside down. Guilty or innocent, stupid, it doesn't matter. Innocent, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joseph A. Lazzara. He's on my referral list at referralist.com.
Morgellons disease, look it up. It's some kind of rare skin disorder with, I want to find parasites. That's right.
People are going cruises down into Central America.
Look at the images if you want to see more.
It's usually on their feet.
That's usually sand fleas.
And all those little sand things, yeah. That's one of the biggest problems in Africa.
These things actually they get under your skin.
They burrow, right.
Yeah, I don't think that was the name of it, though, because
no,
it is about the taxes.
Bunch of us got.
Who is this?
Rand Paul.
Oh, we'll get straight to the point. Hold on. Oh, no, never mind. I'm reading something. I'm going to the Wikipedia.
Every one of us didn't wear water socks.
Morgellons is the informal name of a self-diagnosed skin condition where individuals have sores and they believe, okay, so this is a psychological thing. Okay, I'm going to read about it.
A lot of meth addicts have that problem.
Morgellons.
Meth addicts pick at their skin for that. But there's things in it.
Well, some people just might not have any clue that construction is going to have tons of dust and particles in the air.
Yeah, but this is normal shit.
I know, but he might not know what normal shit is. He might have a crazy version.
Insulation, and it is on you everywhere, and you carry it home, and it does get.
If you look at Kennedy and Reagan, both of those, when they dropped
my wife started making wear the damn Tyvek suits and thing, and I'm working.
Yeah, but my point is, I don't think he was ever going to vote for it.
For what?
I don't know.
Between how long is it in these breaks, Mark?
About 2 minutes.
Say again?
How long are these breaks usually?
5.
5 minutes, so I can go squirt?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah. You can come back in while the lights out too, man. Just be quiet. That's all.
The door won't slam. It's made silent. Can you look, I don't have a thing in front of me, can you look at more gallons? I think that's what the methodics.
That's right, just type Alliance.
What's it called?
More gallons.
I spell it.
Oh God, I don't believe you.
Well, how am I supposed to look it up?
More gallons, disease, and meth addicts. I would put those two more.
She forwarded me the email. I'm going to ask Daphne when she's
Wait,
back
she
in.
just let her know today?
No, she goes, I emailed Daphne on the 7th and told her that Steve couldn't make it in today. And I said, wow, I was just never told. She says, you want me to forward the email?
Okay.
So I got it. I'll just ask Daphne about it.
Meth addicts.
I'm just kidding.
I was assuming.
You know, I can't believe how clean my carpets feel.
That is
That's
due
why-
to the drugs. I would not say it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, it's due
What,
to the
more
drugs.
gallons?
Well,
No, meth addicts is
yeah, that's my wife just, if it's more.
What's that?
Meth addicts,
book?
Oh.
meth addicts have it where they think there's something in their skin too, but I don't know if it's the same thing. A lot of times you see the sores in their face and everywhere. Is there a connection?
Second, an affordable price. And finally, a company that's going to stand behind those windows and warranties. Hi, I'm Clyde with Windows America. Help us celebrate our 18th
What if he's taking Adderall?
Yeah, Tom. What? Meth or Adderall cause that Morgellons disease. I knew there was some connection to drugs with it. My wife's a nurse, and she was explaining it to me a long time ago about meth addicts having that. That's where I thought I heard that Morgellons disease.
You may just
Swindled out of the house by a millionaire's daughter.
I wish I'd get this tax deal done, man, and put it in the books.
They're doing a new thing where
Have another 400 or 500 point run.
Isn't that high enough?
Make up for this stupid Foot Locker.
Double down on Nike. Come out here.
did you lose some money on Foot Locker?
Yeah, I bet I'm going down. Bet the wrong way on that one.
Huh.
Should know.
So you're a day trader?
Yeah.
So you're like a compulsive gambler.
Oh, kind of. I do very good at it, though.
I know. You can if you're intelligent.
Well, Mark is very good because he's not the guy that if he loses, he doesn't want to say, if I stay in, it'll go back. You cut your losses.
Quick. That Foot Locker hurt like a Band-Aid. That was $6,000 in 18 hours.
See, you told me before you didn't like that overnight thing, and that was overnight.
Yeah, but I bought it going into earnings in the morning. I bought it for that reason.
Oh, okay. I thought you bought it the night before.
I did, but earnings were that morning.
Right.
I couldn't buy it in the morning because earnings would have already come out. And they fucking crushed it. Who goes to the mall? Who goes to Foot Locker? That's all I want to know. No one.
No. The thing is,
Did they do some?
Waiting for the time to pass you by.
One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If anything goes wrong with your garage door, think One Clear Choice. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. You'll love this company. They also do openers and garage doors and every part in between. They also do emergency service. And they have openers starting at just $299, LiftMaster 8550 ones. Those are Wi-Fi compatible with time to close feature, battery backups. Really. 303-565-6409, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All right. Buddy Mitchell is with us from Simply Floors. And many people buy floor coverings this time of year. Carpeting. I want to just, before I go to the phones now, I want to do some breaking down. Categories of carpeting. Let's make this all simple. Carpeting for dummies. Start.
A lot of people call our office wanting to know how much carpet costs. And so we tell people, when you're really looking at it, rental carpet, for people that are out buying rental carpet, it's about $2 a square foot. Most of the builders put their base carpet at about $3 a square foot, and then residential replacement. That means you've lived in your house 8 to 10 years, your carpet's wore out, you had your builder carpet put in, and now it's time to replace it.
So $2 a square foot for rental, about $3 for a contractor, and then what's for you if you want really good carpet?
4 to 6.
How much was that life-proof stuff we got?
About 5.
Okay, that's 4 to 6 is for home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to go into different categories of what to look for in carpeting. You broke it down one time. First of all, you start with the fiber, what it is, right? What fiber type we call that?
Yeah, fiber type.
Okay, let's do that now. Fiber type.
Right, there's 3 different fibers.
Okay, fibers, 3 different ones.
Three that you can choose.
I'm like in a college course here. Okay, go ahead.
3 to 4.
All right, let's talk about it.
The cheapest fiber you can buy is polyester, PET polyester.
Polyester, and that's just polyester.
Yeah.
Okay, then what?
Then there's nylon and smart strand.
Okay, nylon is true nylon, which is technically, the only reason it's not a polyester is because it's the same type of fabric, but it's more of a sole strand as opposed to the poly part, right? I mean, it's not. Anyway, it is a fake. It is an artificial fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
And Smart Strand is a new fiber that came out.
Is
by the
Smart
DuPont.
Strand the brand?
I think it's called Triextra. I mean,
so the polyester, the nylon, and the Smart Strand are all, if you boil it down, they're all plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. There are no natural fabrics anymore, like cotton or wool or things like that.
Well, that was the 4th.
Or linen. Okay, wool. Okay.
Yeah.
But does anyone truly... Is wool isn't even that durable, is it, or is it?
Wool is not... Wool sheds. So when they construct wool carpets, it's normally in a loop.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at most wool carpets, they look like a commercial carpet because of the way it...
Are they beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
Are they durable?
Yes, kind of.
Are they expensive?
Very.
So is it considered the coup d'etat when you have a beautiful big mansion?
Yeah. That's what, the slogan is some women deserve wool.
Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We'll go through this more coming up, okay? Let's take these calls now. And Chris, what's happening?
Hey, Tom.
I was told you're actually in a store right now, right?
No, not anymore.
I misread that. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get a hold of the to find out the recourse that's going to be taken. I ended up getting banned from AT&T store after spending $1,000.
How do you get banned from a store? What happened?
I ordered a bundle with internet, TV.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And what happened when you ordered this bundle?
The internet shows up finally like 2 weeks after DirecTV. And
what did you think you were buying? You thought you were buying broadband and what else?
Powerful enough internet to run DirecTV on demand.
Yeah, I know that's what you're saying. I want to know the things you were buying. Broadband and what else?
DirecTV and 2 phone lines.
DirecTV and 2 phone lines. And the part that's the problem is the broadband part, right?
Yeah. Which they're technically not responsible because CenturyLink's a third-party company.
Well, who did you buy this from?
The AT&T sales store.
From AT&T. All right. And you're telling me that the AT&T store told you this broadband would be strong enough to carry everything?
Yes.
Or big enough. And what is it not doing for you? Let's get right to the problem. What is the problem?
I cannot stream anything on DirecTV on demand.
Nothing.
Nothing. So I had to get Comcast back.
Well, hold on a second, though. I have AT&T, and I can stream. Well, I have AT&T cellular service, but you had AT&T with what kind of broadband? Do you know?
The fastest that CenturyLink could offer the security wide field area
is what?
1.5.
Mark, isn't that fast enough to stream?
Nah, that's pretty crappy, man. 1.5, but I mean, if that's the fastest they can do, that's what's in that area.
But Comcast does it just fine. But they're selling the bundle, telling everyone it'll work. And if you don't know security wide field, there's actually a lot of GIs there because it's just east of Fort Carson. And I know a few of them got affected because I sat outside the store all in all about 4 days trying to get someone to resolve my issue on the phone and stand outside telling people that they'll happily put you in a bundle that the internet won't power the DirecTV and then tell you it's your own problem to call Comcast.
Okay, all right. No, I understand the problem with bundling, but
did he know it was 1.5 when you signed it? That's really what this comes down to.
Like you're trying to make some contract, Chris.
But times that the 1.5 is plenty for DirecTV, and everyone on the phone with AT&T knows you need more than that.
So you're telling me that no one who buys this bundle, no one is able to stream?
No, not no one, just in Security Whitefield, because CenturyLink has old wires there.
I see. And what's Security Whitefield? What is it?
It's like a neighborhood.
Oh, that's what they actually call it.
Just east of Fort Carson.
I do appreciate his gumption on hanging out in front of that store forever.
But when you hung out,
I don't think it's going to get him anywhere.
How did you get banned?
Because they said that I was harassing their customers because I was telling them that, hey, these guys will gladly put you in a bundle that the internet won't power the DirecTV and tell you to call Comcast. Because I had to bring coaxial back for my old internet, and so I had to pay a tech for DirecTV.
Yeah, so what do you... Did they allow you to cancel your AT&T, or did they penalize you?
No, I'm still with AT&T and DirecTV.
All right, hold on. We do have to take this break. So, there's really no solve. I can't solve this problem. Really, I mean,
I don't even know what his problem is yet.
Let's all be honest.
So he went out and bought a package from them. They said that
you know what? This shit about I specifically asked. I can't tell you how many times people tell us that. They'll be buying carpet.
You can move over here. This guy's not showing.
Okay.
Oh, why not?
Well, you know what, though? I don't like that mic. I'd rather...
Jeff last week and told me
well, as long as you don't turn on the mic.
I just never got the...
You can sit wherever you want.
I never got it from Jeff. I'm going to ask for why.
You sit over here.
I'm squished down over there.
Sit over here.
Duck Pros. You got, there's your book, okay?
Here's the deal, man.
Thank you. Got my own copy.
I mean, they'll say something like this. Well, I specifically said to Simply Floors that we were going to have a dance class, or whatever. They make it, they try to make it part of my contract. I specifically asked.
Probably why.
We've
had that happen a lot on pad.
With everyone away.
Oh, I specifically asked the best pad you have. That we have upgrade pricing, and they chose the cheaper one, and then they don't like it because they didn't buy the upgraded package for the pad. It's like, well, here's an email from my...
I specifically said, my son is going to use this car for commuting up in the mountains. And you specifically said it was a good mountain car. They tried to make this conversation part of a contract.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like to me that he went in to AT&T, they sold him the package. He went to his neighborhood, and the second party internet provider doesn't have fast, and the only thing he can get fast internet is with Comcast. And he canceled Comcast and went with DirecTV. And doesn't have the internet speed to run DirecTV.
Did you call Mr. Dino yet? Let's do it next hour.
Somebody told me to buy better pad, cheaper carpet.
Well, actually, you had to do. Actually, there's some wisdom to if you're going to cheap out. Though, don't cheap on pad. Though, don't you agree that a good pad?
It depends what you
or
want.
Not? Are you saying it doesn't matter?
What happens if you want to work?
They got a budget for
okay, so let's talk pad.
I heard that
pad is the better feel pad is the softer pad, and it doesn't hold up as well as the pad that is denser.
Well,
right?
I'm talking about a better pad, not a more expensive pad.
Right.
I mean, you can tell me.
Right.
You pick the damn pad for me. What I'm saying isn't it wise to have a good pad? A really good pad, not to cheat out on a pad. Damn face cost.
Right. I agree with you. I agree that upgrading your pad to a point. There's some pads that are a lot more expensive that aren't worth it.
Right. Well, I'm talking about the quality of the pad is important. Is what I'm saying.
They had a budget.
Because some pads.
Well, I
remember we had problems where some pads literally freaking disintegrated. They were so cheap underneath. They were like, they crumbled.
Those are usually the more expensive pads.
Why? Why?
Because they're solid foam versus Rebond. Rebond pad is actually
better,
scientifically better. It doesn't feel as good. So when you're buying pad, what are you choosing? Are you choosing how it feels or how long your carpet's going to last? If you don't take care of your carpet, buy the softer pad that makes it feel good. But if you're going to take care of your carpet and you want it to last 25 years, buy the Rebond 8-pound pad and your carpet won't feel as good. So it
won't feel as good, but it'll.
Well, think about it. Pad is made out of foam, right? So the denser the foam, the better it makes the carpet last.
What about memory foam? That's expensive shit. What have they made it out of that?
We actually have, that's our upgraded pad.
But will that last? That lasts a long time, doesn't it?
Would that show footprints for a long time?
No, they come back up.
What happens when you have the life-proof, waterproof carpet? Then what kind of padding?
Well, I put you into the upgraded memory foam pad because it has a better feel.
Shit, you have a memory foam pad. Does it last long?
You can be sleeping. You can be sleeping
Not as
on
long
your
as
floor.
Rebond.
We do sleep on
So it is a Rebond. See, we buy pad from a company called Future Foam. Future Foam they're here in Denver, they manufacture mattress blanks. And when they manufacture the blanks, so we sell pad that is made with new recycled product, right? So they manufacture the bed blank, and they take that scrap and they make pad out of it, versus going into your house, pulling the carpet out, taking the pad, taking it down, grinding it up, and recycling it into pad. That's what most of the pads out there are made out of. So our pad is made out of a recycled
new.
Pre-consumer recycled.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Plumline Services, if you're looking for a furnace, they are offering a free furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner. What does that mean? Well, call and find out. There's no cost if you want a comfort consultant to come out to your home. If you think you need a furnace, if you don't know for sure, what you need to do is get it checked out. And Plumline Services will tell you the truth. In fact, if you're told you need a furnace, they'll do free second opinions. Free second opinions on any major repair. They also do direct drain work. They don't use third parties like most everyone else. They have their own backhoes, their own equipment, and they have that 93 or free deal, which means if they can't clear your drain for $93, no matter how long it takes, then the call is free and you get a full written diagnostic of what's wrong with the drain system. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. PlumlineServices.com. So, I'm just going to make this a very, very succinct to the point call. If you buy broadband and it doesn't meet your needs, it's kind of tough. You can't create a contract by saying, I can't stream. However, if everyone in that area cannot stream, and these guys know it, then I think there is some responsibility, and you should be credited for that. And that is a case where I would take a company to task. Wouldn't you, Mark? If they knew that your neighborhood, they absolutely knew that your neighborhood could not stream anything in that area.
But they told them it was 1.5 is what I'm saying.
But the 1.5 isn't the problem. You can stream with 1.5 except over those lines. Is that what you're saying, Chris? It's the 1.5 is streamable. Or
no, 1.5 is not good for streaming.
Okay.
I had the manager specifically tell me 1.5 would run my DirecTV on demand.
Right, and again, that's not a contract unless you can prove it.
Well, when I went back with the issue, the manager that was there originally the first night.
Chris, if I call up AT&T store right now and say, you guaranteed that he could stream 1.5, with 1.5, he could stream his DirecTV and he cannot, give his money back, what would they say?
Tough shit that,
okay, he's out. He's out. Okay. You know, Chris, I can't help you anyway. You bought two services. I knocked him out. Don't worry about it. He said tough, you know, whatever, and I bleeped it. So if you hear a little interruption, that's what it is. Chris, I can't help you, okay? Like Mark said, you knew what you were buying. The same with cell service. The same with any of those things. It's hard you have to create a contract. But if the guy had said that, you're right. He's going to say, tough doo-doo, we can't help you. And we can't. I don't even know what Chris wants us to do for him. So do me a favor, Suzanne. Ask him what he wants. He already bought Comcast, and he has AT&T. I don't even know. So ask him. I'm going on to other calls, but ask him specifically. What does he want us to do? What does he want us to do? Liza, what's going on with you, Liza?
Oh, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, Liza. What's happening?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I ordered a stucco inspection. I have a prospective buyer on our house. We had structural damage in 2015, and in order to really disclose everything, I wanted to make sure that the prospective buyer knew what he was getting into.
So you had the inspection done.
So we put the bill for...
I wouldn't have done that. That gives you too much liability, because now the question is going to be, you knew this when you truly didn't.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay.
We're prepared to fix that. This is going to be a...
No, what I'm talking about is this. If you have an inspection, a full inspection done, and you attempt to disclose everything, and you tell them, I had a full inspection done, and later on something happens that has nothing to do with what you fixed, and you truly didn't know about it, you have set yourself up in a position where you should have known, and you can actually have more responsibility because of that inspection than had you not done it. That's all. And I'm not saying it to you, it's too late. I'm saying it to everyone else listening. So go ahead. Let's talk about your problem.
I understand your point.
All right.
The issue was I was under the gun because I wanted to get the stucco inspection. So I called up this inspection company that had some good Google reviews.
All right.
And they came out the next day. However, they didn't come out the next day until I paid $1,300 ahead of time.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You had to pay $1,300 to get them to show up?
Yes. So
well, okay, well, that's an automatic no for me. I don't know anything about you, and you want to show up, and before you even come to my home, $1,300. Okay, we'll talk about that. But I can't even believe you would stand for that. That's one of the problems we'll tackle, and more coming up. Hang on, Liza. I'm consumer.
If a company said to you, we won't show up unless you give us $1,300, what would you do? Have them come out.
Yeah, it would be like
the specialty inspection.
I didn't notice in restaurants. Sorry, I barked my guts out yesterday, and it's really not done well for me. But I keep seeing restaurant floors where the chairs are wearing through the wood grain or through stuff that you're seeing wear. What are those engineered floors?
Probably.
Okay.
LVT is engineered.
And what's LVT?
That's the luxury vinyl tile.
Okay.
I mean, you can wear those out.
All right, here's a new one. What do you think? So the 06 is always the top of the hour. And you just rock it out like that. Like I said, if you want to do it based on...
And then the ones I've done, they're cross off.
Yeah, just cross off. That way it's a little easier to read.
This is great.
No, they're not buying the right
There's a funny
stuff.
sumo logo on.
Yeah. And the Portland Winterhawks.
There is LVT designed for rolling chairs.
Yeah.
And like super durable. We have one made by Happy Feet that's got like a 30 mil wear layer on it. It's good for so much more. It's more money.
I want to see a Happy Drew.
This is you go down to Home Depot and you buy the 6 mil or 8 mil LVT, and it looks exactly like the. And I'm going to say this: the 279 LVT is the same. It looks exactly the same as the 599 LVT, commercial grade LVT.
But it's a thing.
And you're buying a restaurant, and you want your restaurant to look good. They put it down, and in 5 years, it's wore through.
Oh, I'm seeing stuff that's not even 5 years. I'm
Right,
seeing
but
2 years.
Absolutely. That's a residential LVT put in a commercial application.
Yeah, I've been seeing it a lot. I don't know why.
It's like this carpet.
Yeah.
This carpet is designed for us to roll our chairs around on.
Yeah.
If you put these chairs on your carpet at your house and you had people come in and sit on it like this all day, it would wear out in a year.
Yeah.
And so they're buying LVT it's just exactly like that. And they're putting it into a commercial application. And then when it lasts 2-3 years, then they're saying, what happened? It's like, well, everything about the cost of installing it, everything is the same. It's just they're cheaping out on the material.
Yeah, I figured it just and most of them looks like it's worn down with like two layers. You see a dark, and you even see another color under that.
It's just a cheap.
That's what I figured it was.
It's just like buying they're buying a residential product
and using it in a commercial Exactly application. what it is, because Okay. it's all in commercial locations I've seen that in. Right. But if you put it into, if you go buy a commercial grade LVT from Shaw or Happy Feet or one of these companies that is designed for a commercial application, you can put them in hotels. I mean, you know, it's bulletproof stuff. Well, it's good. It's all fun. You're stepping on my millennial jacket. Well, what's that mean? Well, when my wife bought it, I told her I looked like a millennial on it. You know. Okay. I got it. It's like, it's like, why did you buy that? She said it was $15. I was like, okay. If it keeps me warm, I can look like a young millennial. I've got a little place in my heel that looked like it was getting infected, and they gave me an antibiotic. Oh my God, it made me sick. Oh. Was it whiskey? Huh? Whiskey? No, antibiotic.
Whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey.
A bullet. They need to give you just a bullet to bite on.
Yeah,
Come on, toughen up, Clint. Name like Clint,
If I
I
had-
feel like Clint Eastwood.
If I had
Tough.
whiskey, I would be. I'm allergic to alcohol. I've never been drunk in my life. I can't get past about a half a beer before I'm just barfing my guts out. You know, I have two things that happen to me when I drink. We had our Christmas party last night. I drink one drink and I get incredibly tired, and then I can't remember names. I don't need that to quit remembering. Mark and Suzanne walked up last night, and I had a half of a whiskey drink, and I could not remember Suzanne's name for the life of me, like 3 times.
Do you remember when you started singing?
Yeah.
Well, took your shirt off, went on the table.
I only drank 1.5 drinks. Dana got plastered. You know, going back and look at old, like Bewitched and old TV shows, how they come home and have a drink, how more prevalent drinking was then. And I'm looking at these girls complaining about sexual assault and these guys. Started to think, I wonder how much alcohol had to do with that back then, since it was so.
Coming home, they used to do The Office.
I know.
Look at Mad, what was that show with back in the 50s or early 60s and stuff. They had like liquor right in the office.
Oh, yeah, all of them did.
I Love Lucy.
No.
Bewitched was one of them that I saw in the office.
Bewitched for sure.
Yeah.
Was it Mad About
Man About You? It's not that old. Mad About You, it's 80s or 90s, I think.
Mad Men.
Mad Men isn't old. Was that the one about the cartoon?
No, but it was
My
the
adverts
60s.
are advertised.
I'm saying it was about the 60s.
Yeah.
It was a great series, I hear. I only saw a few seasons.
Mad Men is a great series, yeah.
And it was about advertising. Did it have I don't like binging series that are off the air totally, unless I know they summed it all up. Did they? I like endings. I don't like, I've watched some super great series that they did not renew the thing, so they never ended it. You never know what happens with anything. I
got a question. Has Dexter been ended? Because I just started watching Dexter.
Dexter is awesome, but Dexter doesn't really have to end, I don't think, because of how it's structured. It doesn't depend on a previous episode at all.
No, I'm just saying it. I just started.
Is he ever caught? Is he ever? Well, does it have a recurring?
Each season kind of has a recurring thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm in season 2. Never watched it. I'm in season 2 or 3. It is fantastic.
No, it's Dexter. What's it about?
Fantastic.
It's not as good as Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Buddy, what's Dexter about?
It's about a serial killer that when you're watching the show, you start pulling for him because you really like it.
Yeah, but he only kills. He kills like other serial killers.
Or evil.
He's a
evil
cop.
people. He's a cop, and he's
a medical examiner.
Yeah.
He's a blood guy.
He's a blood analysis.
And so he goes in and someone gets off, and the guy's an evil dude that kills children or something.
And they got off because of a technicality.
Or something, and he kills them.
But he'll like
And then
break
cuts
in
them up.
and make sure he'll make sure the guy's really guilty.
You know, he knows the guy's guilty.
And he doesn't kill him nicely either.
And it's not.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Raleigh House. This is a premier treatment center for addiction. And if you have an addict in your life, you will love what they are doing for us. The Raleigh House is they have established this line, and this phone line is for anyone to call with any questions whatsoever about addiction, about treatment, about how to approach an addict in your life, what to say, and how to do it. You know, so many times people don't know where to go when it comes to addiction. They're not going to walk into a treatment center. They don't even want to call them, especially if they're not the addict. And the addict themselves, they don't like doing this. I love the idea of having this line where you can ask anything like, what's the first step? What is treatment? What does it entail? How long is it? What does it cost? Does insurance cover it? What about my mom? What do I say to her? Or how do I know there's a habit? I know they're doing some things strange. Is there anything I need to look for? How do I know there's an addiction? What about alcohol? What about meth? What about prescription drugs? The doctor's prescribing it. Can he still have a habit? All that kind of stuff can be answered and more. And it's all confidential, no high-pressure sales whatsoever. The Raleigh House would love to tell you about their treatment center with evidence-based treatments for reducing substance, but you can ask anything you want about anything, and it's confidential and there's no obligation. One thing I know for sure, whether it's the Raleigh House or not, or anywhere else, addiction will never, ever cure itself or get better without intervention. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com. We have this cool call, and Mr. Dino, Pete Scheinberg's the owner. He's been on my referral list for a long time, and he called and said, you know, Tom, you were talking about these walk-in tubs and how expensive they are. And Mark and I really railed on that for a while because it was very, very expensive. I mean, they were charging $18,000 and more, and Bentley Bath's one of the worst offenders. He went out and, in our opinion, ripped off this senior citizen, and man, did it take a long time for us to get him to do anything about it. That's a long story. It's on our YouTube channel. You can revisit that if you want. But the bottom line is I was disgusted with the industry because they take advantage of people on Medicare and Medicaid and all that because they know that they can sneak it in under a medical cost and get outrageous prices. But one thing I never thought of, Mark, a lot of people who buy, and everyone listening, I mean, one thing I never realized is that people who buy walk-in tubs are usually elderly, and their next stop is usually a nursing home, or they pass away, or people just don't want it when they buy the house. They're almost never wanted. They look weird. They're only for people who need them.
Yeah.
And what happens is what Pete Scheinberg thought of the other night, because he got a call. They want to get rid of them. And he says, Tom, these tubs are in perfect condition, a lot of them. What if I pick up some used tubs and we donate them to people? And you know, he says, I'll put them in for a fee if they want me to, but that's not the purpose. If they want me to, fine. We can get this tub and or whatever. Or if it's for sale, let's say from somebody, they can buy that tub for a very, very cheap price, you know, because some people may not give it away. If they give it away, fine, but some people may say, they might just say, just get it out of here. Other people might say, you know, I'll let you have it for $200 or $300, whatever. Pete said, then I'll install it if they want for a fee, or they can install it themselves, whatever. But we could kind of be a clearinghouse for some of these used tubs, because he was betting they don't even know who to call when they have one they don't want. I'll bet you a lot of them throw them out, Mark.
Yeah, or their contractors do, and they redo the bathroom.
I've never thought of this, Pete. So why did you think of this, Pete?
Well, thank you, Tom. We're doing a project right now. We just removed this walk-in tub, which was virtually brand new. And we actually have a couple sitting in a warehouse where we took them out.
Huh.
And it's very interesting. 40% of people who buy walk-in tubs are not in that house within 18 months.
Wow.
So where do all those tubs go?
That's what I'd like to know. Maybe we can find a home for them.
So now, instead of spending $18,000 plus,
yeah,
you could get a walk-in tub for much, much, much less. And what we're going to do is, before we remove them from a home, we test them, make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
We recondition them. And I have one brand new one, jacuzzi, top jacuzzi model, top of the line, I'll give away for free.
Think about this, and then you'll install it, and then
I will install it for a fee if they want. But
yeah.
The problem with these tubs is that they're very heavy, and they're
no, Pete. You don't have to justify it. It costs money to install those things. You don't even have to because most of the time you have to take out the old tub and fill in the space and whatever.
Right.
Or if it fits in, fine. But you don't even have to say that, Pete. Trust me.
What I'm saying, Tom, you misunderstand me. What I'm saying is when they're in somebody's home, they're not easy to get out.
Right.
So people just a normal person just can't go pick it up and put it back in their truck.
How about we say this? If people have one they want removed, they should call. And if people need one, they should call. And then we'll try to hook them up with either a free tub, if it's free, because sometimes they charge for them. Sometimes people sell them. So whatever it is, we pass along to the consumer, and then if they want you to install it, you'll install it.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, that's a no-lose. That is a wonderful situation.
And then if we install it, and if it's one that we, reconditioned, we'll even warranty it. So you get
how do you beat that?
Yeah, you get a beautiful walk-in tub for, a third of the price.
Yeah.
Of doing that.
Because a lot of that is labor. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask anyone who needs a walk-in tub to at least investigate these used tubs with Mr. Dino, and then anyone who wants to donate a tub or get rid of a tub, also call Mr. Dino. And Mr. Dino is no stranger to bathrooms because he does, improvements anyway. That's what he does. He does new tubs and fixtures and wall systems and all of that are maintenance or near maintenance free. So here's what you do. Mr. Dino's Bath, if this is of interest to you, give him a call and investigate. 303-404-9800. 303-404-9800. MrDinosBaths.com, 303-404-9800. I love this idea because I never thought of that. Buddy, isn't it a brilliant thing? I've never thought of these old tubs. What do they do with them?
They probably throw them away. In a lot of places, if they're really heavy to take out, probably destroy them, them out.
Getting them out. They don't take the care to get them out. So that's why if you need Mr. Dino to remove it, call 303-404-9800. And then we will get people tubs, cheap or free, and then just installation. I love it. Okay, now, George says he has a possible solution for something. Oh, for the streaming problem that the guy had. He had only 1.5. What is it measured in, Mark? Is it megabits or what is it?
Megabytes.
Megabytes. Okay, so George, what is the possible solution for that streaming?
Well, a couple of things. First off, we don't. I didn't hear. Maybe I missed it. Whether he's trying to stream it to a mobile device or
I don't know either.
Flat screen TV or both. All right, that's first of all. So the solutions will differ, but possible solutions. For one, he should reduce the video quality settings on his devices.
These are normal things that I think anybody would think of, don't you?
And it's just not 1.5 is so little.
It didn't sound like.
All right, but George, do me a favor because this truly, and I mean this kindly, 99% of my audience doesn't care about this, so I need to get fast with it.
Right.
Adjust the video quality.
So
what else?
From the legal perspective, DirecTV has on their, at least DirecTV now, I don't know if it's any different, has on their website a document that says recommend a minimum of 12 megabytes for broadband connections to the home. 2.5 megabytes minimum broadband connections for mobile devices. This is for streaming.
Yeah.
For streaming.
That's what they advertise?
Yes. They're saying minimum up to minimum of 2.5, and then 2.5 to 7.5 for high definition quality. So basically, I would suggest that this guy goes to this kind of a document, which DirecTV has, and get out of it. Now, also, we don't know whether he was trying to stream via Wi-Fi or wired. He should log into his router modem and see what the speed is right at that connection. He may be sharing a lot of Wi-Fi disturbances from that community. He should call the CenturyLink Direct and find out what the maximum availability is.
Okay, George, that was, by the way, a really good idea about going straight to the router. Sometimes routers can choke you down. So that's a good idea. Now, Mark, are most routers nowadays set up to can they stream to your home as well over wire as they can over the air, or is it a little quicker going directly
You mean once you're in the house?
Yeah.
It's always going to be faster wired, but I mean it's so fast now the streaming's not going to be an issue whatsoever.
It's not going to be the causing thing. Liza, I didn't forget about you, okay, dear? I really haven't, but so many things have come up. So let's go to this stucco thing. Liza?
Yes.
Okay. You paid how much up front?
I paid $1,300 because I was kind of in a rush.
And then he came to the house, and what happened?
And unfortunately, I couldn't go around with him.
Right.
But he did go around, and he did call me out. He had what looked like an awl or an ice pick, and he showed how the pick went through.
Okay.
Put a bunch of holes in it, and then took off. And I was waiting for the report.
You never got the report?
No. I did get the report.
Okay.
The first report actually came in, and on the back page it looked like they still had red font on it, so they hadn't actually played with it. But there was one sentence that said, the inspector feels that the stucco system was installed incorrectly. And I called him up and I said, I can't show this to my buyer because I don't even know how to mitigate that.
Right.
There's a reason why I'm telling you this. So he took that out, and the rest of the report actually had no numeric data, no what you call the deflection measurement data, and to determine kind of the firmness of the integrity.
Right.
So I not only didn't get the moisture data, I didn't get the deflection measurement data.
Okay.
And yet the website says I bought the whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
And I'm supposed to get all that data.
What's this guy's name?
His name is, well, the company name is Swift Inspection, but the owner, who is the inspector, is Edward Scott Pancost.
Okay.
And the frustration that I'm having, and I'm just asking for a partial refund, because I called 6 contractors, 2 when they saw, and I sent the report.
All right, just get to the point though. What do you feel that by valuing the things you did not get, what do you feel it would have been a fair price for that inspection?
Well, I asked all 6 contractors, or 5 of the 6, and they said the cost should be between $500 to $650.
Okay, so if you're hold on, and I promise you I won't forget you this time. But we have some ideas. I'm running way over time. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Whether it's good weather or bad weather, Rocky's is open and they're ready for business, and it's great roaming around when it's great weather like this. You get the golf cart treatment, and they'll even give you a hat. Here's the deal at Rocky's. Seriously, they have the biggest selection of clean used cars in all categories and colors and models and makes. That's what I like. Variety is important, but they also have variety in lenders. Not one lender can fit the bill for everyone. That's why they have 40 lenders to choose from based on your credit, based on how much you put down. And speaking of down payments, you also have trades, right? They give better values for most trades because they don't wholesale most of them unless they're junk. They sell most of their decent trades right on the lot, so they can pay you more than a wholesaler. They can pay you more than most dealers. Call them. 303-426-4646. Find out if they have what you want, or drop by at 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8.
When my brother-in-law died, we got a 4-month-old Ranger scooter. Rascal scooter. I remember the world's expensive ones they advertised. We picked up and brought up here. We ended up donating it because we couldn't sell it for one dime. Why? Because they began for free through Medicare. Brand new. Good idea. Give them a little more play. Okay. Medicare pays for these tubs.
I know, but Medicare does pay for those tubs in some cases. Not in all.
Not in all? Okay.
Not in all. I mean, you're right, they do. You're right. With a Rascal scooter, I can see that. If you wanted to sell it reduced, they say, why should I buy reduced? And then they don't care about saving money for Medicare.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They'll say, Medicare's paying. What do I care? They're not going to save money for Medicare.
That was thousands of dollars on Medicare, and we gave it away. I couldn't believe it. I about kept it for the kids.
But you bring up a good point. It would have to be somebody with self-pay. But why would anyone be self-pay? Well,
would Medicare pay for if this place put it in? I mean,
but there are people that aren't Medicare age that need them too. But they can think they're on disability. it's a point. It's definitely a point to consider. But then we'll know because we won't get the calls.
Okay.
And I think there is a limit to what they pay. I think there is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
These guys milk the shit out of that.
Was that the wet lady that was too big for it?
Yes. Oh God, it was a terrible.
Yeah, I remember that.
Terrible
They
story.
should pay. That's the way the system works. Now you may think,
Someone was
I don't want to sue. I
Who
don't
was
wanna
that woman?
do
Mark, 300-400 pounds?
Oh man, she was a big girl.
Free of charge. It's
She couldn't even get in it, could she?
It's the case. It's payable if you
The original one she couldn't at all. Literally couldn't fit through the door.
someone is.
She was a big gal, man.
Someone is
Now, the good thing about that, you don't have to put very much water in it.
It's all about. Why
No.
you be the one to suffer? Don't feel guilty.
It's true.
You need the services of someone competent.
Put a cup of water in it. Yeah.
All the areas of law involved. 303-597-4500,
It was crazy.
597-4500.
Even that short chair, you still can't see over me, huh?
If you've saved a lot for retirement,
No.
you feel
Really?
pretty
Okay.
good. But without some advanced comprehensive
You're too tall.
planning, taxes could
I feel like I'm sitting on the floor over there.
retirement. This is
Feels really weird.
Most of your money
You're not tall enough.
Heard every Saturday here on 630 KHOW.
And Tom's got that chair jacked way up in here.
And with my
Ever seen
background as a CPA,
He sits on
and
a stool like.
taxes for more than 20 years here in Colorado, I
Gotta have one
always
more floor
see
question to
higher
ask you.
taxes when we put together
Since you were
a
here last, it
retirement
just
plan.
all
There
these
may be ways
things
to
popped
save
up.
significant amounts on taxes if you know what you're doing. Why pay more than
oh,
your
glue down
fair
process.
share in taxes during
I used
retirement?
to see in commercial applications where they glue it down.
Linda
Is
Gardner, to schedule your
does that happen
complimentary
anymore, or still
obligation
every day?
retirement planning
Oh, does it?
strategy
Okay.
session. Don't
Oh,
let
okay.
taxes derail your retirement. You can
Commercial
call right
carpet is
now,
glued down.
720-488-8604.
And they avoid pads,
That's
so-
720-488-8604.
Well, this
Or
is
reach
it
out
has
online
pad.
at
No, it doesn't.
So you can buy double stick pad too,
It's unusual to do commercials.
where you glue the pad down and then you glue the carpet to the pad.
Meanwhile, this
The-
commercial is mainly
It's made out of chunks of stuff, pink, well.
Yeah, that's called rebond.
That's rebond, okay.
recommend
And then the egg crate,
What?
the egg crate stuff that looks like egg crate.
Yeah, that's the really expensive pad that doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I've seen that, just disintegrated, the little tips were off.
What they do now is they hit it with two pieces of glue. It's called double vapor barrier. We sell one from Shaw called St. Jude, Courage, and then the other one is Napa. They're made by the same company, they're just branded differently.
If you have a loved one who is an addict, they can help you approach that. And here's the number for the Raleigh House, 720-893-5559.
Hey, but I can't find a model number.
893-5559. TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever the season brings, it helps to have Home by Verizon. Home is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers.
W08C.
Get help if you're stuck.
Yeah, or the inspector doesn't do stucco. The guy we had in yesterday.
Oh, he doesn't? Did you say, why the hell don't you do stucco?
Well, I say that deflection test, I bet you they gotta have a machine on there that, you know, that resists penetration, and that's what the...
Yeah, they got a thing on fabric airplanes, they have a, punches a hole, it gets too weak.
Yeah.
Actually, punches a hole. You know, I thought it was gonna put in a report that it was full of all holes.
Hey, Clint, is it hard to time mags?
Oh.
No? Because I may have to remove my left one to get to the starter gasket, and I don't know how to time them. Or I think I've done, it's not something...
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, remember these guys, they are the shiznits when it comes to, can I say shiznits? I think I can.
Why not?
Okay. When it comes to the orthodontics that for adults for straight teeth, you know, orthodontics usually takes 5-6 years, and if you get veneers, you can get veneers pretty quickly, but it's going to cost you just for the front teeth like $25,000-$30,000. For the whole mouth, you're talking $60,000. Really, I'm serious. Now, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ does the new orthodontics. This applies to children too, except with children it's a little different system. With adults, you wear these mouthpieces, gradually widen your palate, straighten your teeth, and it aligns your jaw. So it does away with sleep apneas and TMJs and straightens your teeth. Then for the finishing touches, they use Invisalign braces. This whole procedure for adults without extractions and without any kind of surgeries takes only 2 years for straight, beautiful teeth. Get it done now. Have a Christmas present for yourself. Beautiful, straight, beautiful smile. Think about that. And it's natural and it's real. Dr. Kent Lawson has proven it. You got to go see him. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Liza, Liza, here's the deal. Did you pay by credit card?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's wonderful. Did you go, with the credit card,
American Express, and
they allow you to do partial. They allow you to do partial.
Yes.
So you did that?
Yes.
And you have the evidence based on what you found that it should only cost $700 to $800?
It actually is supposed to cost between $500 and $650, and
what does he say about it when you call him?
They won't respond. I asked 3 times for the metrics, and it turns out.
Is it that important that you have those numbers?
Yes, because I have 2 contractors who won't even give me an estimate because they said the report said nothing. So why pay anything for it if it's that useless? What good is the report? It's not, but I was trying to be fair.
I would contest the whole thing. I would do that and then try to settle. That's what I would do, Liza.
I have to go and get a new inspection report.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And you want us to call the guy? We will. But it's so easy when you use credit cards. American Express is not as consumer friendly as the rest of them.
No, it's a little hard explaining the issue to somebody over in Mumbai.
Well, they online, see, like Capital One is the best interface for consumers online. You can do a great job. So I would do the credit card, the whole amount, just dispute it. Just absolutely flat out dispute it. And the only word you have for it is fraud or substandard. You can't say it's a billing dispute. The other thing is calling them. I'd love to put Deputy Klink on this, who's construction savvy. Let's put him on it and have him call and say, why do you think you should be paid? Or are you willing to give those numbers? Maybe we can get that for you. Hold on, Liza, 303-713-TALK. Buddy Mitchell, we talked about carpeting, and we talked about the essentials. First of all, the fibers are either polyester, nylon, smart strand, or wool. Now, if you're buying for your home, which one would you get?
Nylon.
Okay, nylon. When you look at fiber, what's the next thing to look at with a carpet?
The twist level and the face weight.
Okay, twist level and face weight. What's the most basic of those two first?
Face weight.
What does that mean?
The amount of yarn from the backing on the carpet. So it's how much yarn you have on the carpet.
So how many times?
How many ounces?
Yeah. So you really want to look at weight, and that is it weight per inch, weight per
yard.
Per yard.
Per yard. So like a 40-ounce carpet has 40 ounces of yard for every 3 foot by 3 foot area.
40 ounces of yarn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good indicator that it's woven a certain density.
Right.
What would be considered a great weight?
55 to 60 ounces is I think the sweet spot.
And 40 is cheaper?
40 is cheaper.
And what do they come in normally when you go out to buy? You won't find one, for example, at 28, will you?
Yeah. FHA carpet.
27, 28, 29, 30, do they go like that? Or are they like 10, 20, 50, 60?
Well, FHA carpet is 25 ounces.
Okay.
Meaning you cannot get a home loan, an FHA home loan on your house if you have less than 25 ounces of yarn.
So that's the low of the low.
Well, rental carpet is less.
Oh, really? What's rental carpet?
I've seen it 16, 18 ounces.
Wow. But as I said, they don't really come in every ounce in between, do they? Or do
Pretty
they?
much, yeah.
You can almost find any ounce you want.
Yeah, and I say this: if you look at it like a durability chart, it goes pretty much straight up from about 25 to 40 ounces, and then once it hits 40, it kind of levels off. The difference between a 40-ounce carpet and a 60 is not durability; it's now luxury.
Okay,
right?
But you like the sweet spot of 55 to 60.
Right.
All right. Then what is the twist?
It's how many times the yarn is twisted.
The more the better?
Yeah. Carpet wears out when it blooms like a flower. When you look at your worn out carpet, it's when the yarn
untwisted, right?
It's come untwisted. So the tighter the twist, the longer it'll take for the yarn to come untwisted.
But a good thing about polyesters or nylon or artificial is that they have a memory, right? So if you heat them up, they'll retwist even.
Right. That's why you have to have your carpet steam cleaned every year, because nylon remembers, I think the statistic is 97% of its original shape. So when you walk on it for a year and you steam clean your carpet, it remembers its shape and it closes the bloom, and that's why all the warranties on carpet say you have to have your carpets cleaned with hot water extraction once a year. And then, you know, poly has a much less of a memory, and that's why it wears out quicker. But it's a cheaper fiber, so you can get more yarn for less money.
Right. It's all like, you know, you got to take all factors into consideration.
Correct.
So with the twist, is it written somewhere?
It's harder to find.
So do you literally look at the yarn?
Well, no, you can ask a reputable retailer, and they'll
what
show
would
you the specs
what would
on
it say? 4, 5, 6? I mean, is it expressed in a number?
Yeah, it's 4, 5, 6. Like Stainmaster nylon, I think, and I'm remembering. I'm not like reading this, but I think they won't make. You're not allowed to call it Stainmaster nylon unless it has 5.5 twist. Right, and so the higher the twist, I think the most twist is between 5 and 7 for good carpets. Cheap, really blown up carpets where they take a little bit of yarn and make it feel really thick and plush, is they don't twist it very tightly. So you'll see those with 3.5 or 4, and that makes people think, oh, I'm buying a good carpet. But
and that's per strand, not per inch or per whatever.
It's per strand. Yes.
Yeah. So you see a strand of carpet, and there's 5 to 7.
Yeah, that's a good carpet.
Are there any carpets that on purpose are not twisted?
No. Well, yes, they don't twist them as tight to make them feel thicker and plusher. Because I could bring in carpets here next time and show you a 25-ounce carpet that feels really dense. Right?
They're cheating a little.
Well, they twisted it like 7 times. So it's even though it's 25 ounces, it's going to last pretty good. And then I have the same carpet, same price, and it's twisted 3 times. Right? Everything about it's the same, but it's only twisted 3 times. And when you feel it, you would say, "Wow, this is a much nicer carpet than the one that's." But it's not. And
very interesting.
And that's all the carpet mills or manufacturers do, is they manipulate the yarn to give you different feels and different durability.
If you have any questions on fibers or face weight or twist, give me a call. I don't know. I'm finding this fascinating, people. This is what makes a smart consumer. When you go out shopping, you're not an idiot. You at least know something, and that is what I love. Joey, what's going on with you, Joey?
Yes. I have a VA question. I'm a disabled veteran, and so is my friend.
Okay.
We're a bunch of Marines, and our friend has a alcohol problem, and when he drinks severely, and when he does, he gets suicidal. And we kept trying to bring him to the VA.
Yes, Joey.
He's service connected as well, but the VA kept turning him away. First, they wanted to send the detox.
Why are they sending him away?
I really don't know. First, we just went with what they said. Send the detox. We send the detox. He ended up having a seizure in detox, so they removed him from detox, put him in a different hospital. They released him and gave him back to us. We tried bringing him back to the VA.
Well, what do you want the VA to do? Do they have... Hold on, and I'll take this. I'll take this. This is important. Do we have an angel at VA? We have someone who knows a lot about VA.
Maybe, Tom.
But Joey, we're gonna help you, and thank you for your service. And I'm not sure what your disability is, Joey, but thank you for looking out for your buddy as well. This is pretty serious. And then maybe we'll consult the Raleigh House. But this is all very, very important. Very important. 303-713-TALK is our number. 713-8255. Century RV has expanded into Lakewood. That is so cool. They're up at I-25 and 119 north, but they've also expanded into Lakewood with a 30,000 square foot place, indoor showroom. So make this a Merry Christmas for the family. This is definitely a family gift. I say RV stands for real value and real vacation. It also, of course, is a recreational vehicle, and you'll have plenty of fun with campers starting under 10 grand. New big units, you can get $50,000 discounts. They have the largest used inventory in the state. Century RV is just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. That's CenturyRV.com.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, because Ideal wants to make sure if they do a refinance for you, they put you in a better position than you were in before. Ideal is the only lender that offers these things.
I didn't miss some Tenno Schultz, did I?
No, sir.
Even if you're approved, they can do
She
small.
knocked out a ton, brother.
You think Alabama is going to vote which way?
I think they're going to go Republican. I think they're going to go for way more. I think they're
Child molesters, they're going.
I don't know if they're. I don't know. If
Hey, alleged child molester.
Oh.
Did you hear that guy? He was defending him, saying, "Well, back 30 years ago, it was okay to date 16-year-olds."
Yeah, I know.
Shut up.
I swear, sometimes you do. You just want to go, just shut your mouth.
Like,
well, back when I was younger.
I know what he's saying, though. He's saying that they didn't look at it.
Socially, it was, I got to say, man, in some areas it was acceptable. I don't know what else is. Who was the singer that married like his cousin that was 13?
Elvis.
No.
Elvis married his. Yes, he did.
No.
She was 14 years old.
She was young, but
she was 14.
That's pretty fucking young.
They started going with her, I think, when he was 14.
Well, they started, taking her on tour
That's
with
not
him.
who I was thinking of, though.
But look up Elvis and Priscilla Presley.
Who's the other one? You know,
He was a country star, a country western.
No, it's like Conway Twitty or something. Willie Nelson.
No.
How old was Priscilla Presley when she married Elvis?
8.
She was 14.
Yeah, okay, you nailed it. Elvis. No one told him not to run for Senate. That's not who I was thinking of, though.
No, I know who you're thinking of.
Here, who married
She was a cousin, too.
their 13-year-old cousin? I mean, there can't be too many.
Elvis, she was...
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah. She was 14 when they met.
Oh my God. Here's 9 famous people that married their cousin. Rudy Giuliani.
Oh no.
Edgar Allan Poe, H.G. Wells, Saddam Hussein, Charles Darwin, Einstein, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Running a small business can be demanding.
I have no idea who.
Of his father's first cousin.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh really?
Jesse James.
So the gunfighter?
Yep, the gunfighter.
The Gig-Speed network from Comcast Business gives you more, with speeds up to 20 times faster than what most.
Now,
that means powering more employees.
my wife, on her side of the family, of course,
and more downloads.
does have a couple
Plus, when you get
strange things going on over there. On her mom's side.
You don't want to talk about it?
I can't talk about it, but.
To give small businesses more. Call 1-800-501-6000 to join, or visit business.comcast.com. Comcast Business. Built for business. Office code 2117. Restrictions apply. Limited one voice line and private QT between customers. 2-year contract required. Requires Comcast Business.
So what are we going to have this
She was
year?
22 when she got married. So
50 megabits per second downloads.
they met when they
We
were
all
14.
want clean carpets for the holidays.
I'll tell you one. Who married his stepdaughter? That's about as creepy as it gets.
Oh,
Woody
yes,
Allen.
yes.
Woody Allen. And all these people still love Woody Allen in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, working with him was blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't even look at me, but oh my God.
In fact, who was his wife at the time when he started kind of going out with her?
Woody Allen did what?
He married his stepdaughter.
At least he was
His stepdaughter?
Pretty
That's pretty creepy.
I know.
Well, I mean, Hollywood has looked past that for years, and it's like, I watched this Ben Shapiro thing where he says, you have this culture where, on one sense, what's wrong if a woman walks into a producer and says, I'll have sex with you for a part, right? Versus the man saying, if you have sex with me, I'll give you the part, because we've made sex transactional.
right? And he argues it beautifully, and it's like, sometimes you just have to shake your head.
I know.
He's right on the money, because you sit there and say, because if you call her and say, hey, that's wrong, then you're slut-shaming her. So the feminist movement has kind of backed themselves into a corner on this. Then he says it's a man's job to defend women. He says feminists don't want to hear that it's a man's job to defend women, so when we don't defend women, we're then pigs for not defending women. But you tell us we shouldn't defend women. I'm saying it's our job to defend women. It's a brilliant art. It's a brilliant speech.
Mia Farrow was his wife when they were doing that.
That's right. So he married Mia Farrow's daughter?
Well, it was adopted. I think it was like an adopted.
Yeah, basically it's a mail order bride. Say it how it is.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Thank you for being here and listening to the show. We love what we do. Listen, if you're looking for a reverse mortgage, please beware. If you know any seniors looking, please beware. They're not, I'm going to say they don't fit most circumstances. There's a reason I'm saying that. Because I don't want people thinking, yeah, I'm just going to live off my equity. Now, it does work in some cases. In fact, it's a wonderful retirement tool for some. Depending on your age, the older the better, actually, over 62. And the more equity, the better. But then a lot depends on your estate and all of that. Now, Joan Sullivan would love to put you in a reverse mortgage because that's what she does. But she's also honest enough to tell you if it's not good for you or if it'll meet your circumstances, she'll tell you how. Either a lump sum, monthly payments, or you can do a line of credit. But first consult ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528, 303-771-3528, ApprovalReverse.com. So, we're discussing all kinds of things. Joey calls and says, my buddy's an alcoholic and having a big problem, and we can't get the help we need from VA. Joey is a disabled veteran. He's a Marine. Joey, how many you say in your group? Is this a support group or just a bunch of buddies?
Just a bunch of buddies.
How many? How many in your group?
There's 3 of us right now trying to get him help, and he has suicidal tendencies when he drinks, and we've tried taking him back to the VA multiple times. One of the times, the VA ER doctor was trying to admit him and trying to tell the administration he needs to be admitted and he needs to stay here with us, but they wouldn't allow it.
Okay. When you say they don't allow it, do they recommend anything else?
They kept saying bring him back next week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and after about 4 days when he hasn't had a drink, and then we can help him out and send him to an outpatient thing. And it's like, we can't babysit him 24/7. He already had a seizure trying to go cold turkey. We're not medical professionals. Like, he could kill himself, or, we can't babysit him. We need him to be admitted.
Okay, all right, I get it. Okay. If VA won't do anything, I don't, have you tried Salvation Army?
No.
Have you tried any other, he can't afford, I take it, another kind of private program, right?
No, he's...
Is he on disability? Is he on Social Security disability right now?
He's on VA disability. He's a businessman. He was doing good, and he lost all his money, his business.
Will he stay? Will he stay? Will he stay in a program, Joey? Because no one can force him. Like, even if we try to help him, will he stay in a program? You say he keeps getting drunk.
He was willing to until he ended up having a seizure at detox, and then they had to send him off somewhere else, and then after a couple hours, they just sent him out of the hospital. It's like, well, what do we do? Because the place you guys send us to take him can't facilitate him if he ends up
he has to withdraw first and then go into, and the VA says that's not their job, right?
What do they typically do for detox like that?
I don't know, and I didn't know this. You can be so addicted to alcohol that it'll give you seizures when you come out of it?
Yeah, when they were in before the Raleigh house, he was talking about that one time.
Holy crap. Joey, do you have a family?
Yes.
And the other buddies have a family? Like, I know this is crazy, but none of you are in a position to take him in.
I'm not in a position right now. I can't.
Right.
We tried that, and he ended up raiding all the cabinets for alcohol.
See, this is dangerous. I don't know what to do. I mean, it sounds like you guys want to help him, but he doesn't want the help, or does he say he does want the help?
It goes both ways. We convinced him twice to go to the VA.
What do you want VA to do? Give me your ideal scenario, because I'm not picking up on what exactly do you expect VA to do?
Fix him.
No, what? Like what? Give me an idea, Joey.
Try to give him treatments, or maybe admit him, because I know I've had issues in the past, and the VA has always admitted me for all my different issues. So I don't understand why all of a sudden this
you
time
want
they're
them
not doing it.
You want them to admit him and then to get him treatment.
Yes. The ER doctor said they can do that, and he was trying to argue with the administration, and the administration said, no, we're not doing it.
But did they say why?
That I didn't get an answer to.
Okay. You didn't get an answer, but they said they could do it. Then we're going to call. Okay? Deputy Clint, is your card full of VA? I would like you... This sounds pretty straightforward. This guy's a disabled veteran. He qualifies. And they just won't detox him and then put him in a program. What's the answer? You got anybody have any ideas? Is there something we're not hearing? I mean, isn't that what they're supposed to do?
I don't know, man.
Joey, hold on, and we'll take care. We're not. I can't promise results, but we'll certainly try. Tony wants to get out of contract with a real estate guy. Chris has an issue with a car dealer. Chris, I'm going to get to you. Tony, I'm going to get to you. Tony, how long you been in the contract with the real estate guy?
It's not actually me. It's a friend of mine.
How long?
Since June or July.
What's the reason they want out?
Well, she had a contract that when she initiated the contract, KB Homes had informed her at the time that all the incentives were attached to using their lender, and he had told her, don't worry about that, there's ways around it, we can make sure we can use our lender.
Well, what does he care what lender you use?
Well, he was using his lender, of course.
But why does he care? He shouldn't care.
I don't know.
Ah, that's a little crooked. Hold on a second, all right? I'd like to get to the bottom of that one. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, budget A1 transmission and auto repair. We love these guys, and you will too. If you need anything done to your car, whether it's regular maintenance or repair, Mark Machowski is the guy at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. They have so many cool ways of doing things. First of all, 1 hour of free diagnostics. If you just want to hunt down a problem, you don't have to worry. And they'll take you back and show you exactly what they find and how much it'll cost to fix. Then they have the Find Fix or Free. That's an $89 plus parts guarantee on any problem unless it's so big. Then they give you a full written detailed report and charge you nothing. So, worst case scenario, you get a full written report and it doesn't cost you anything, or you are maxed out at $89 plus parts. That's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, 3201 South Santa Fe Drive. That's just south of Dartmouth on Santa Fe, 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858.
Roy Moore arrived at Cole's place on horseback.
You two guys conduct your own little, entertainment deal going on during the show. They go back and forth, discussions, debates, arguments, stocks. You know, it's like, hello, there's a show over here. Yeah, okay. You know, Dan's supposed to be running video.
Horseback!
Who doesn't do that?
Who shows up on horseback to vote for yourself? What's
wrong
with you?
Armor.
God bless.
Isn't that the way the guy he picked up Julia Roberts in the Hooker show that she got famous for?
Oh, really? What was it? With,
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. At the end of the show, he rides in. Richard Gere, or whatever his name, rides in on horseback down the New York street.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Pick her up.
A Panera Bread gift card. for every $50 in gift cards purchased.
Kramer actually took a horse and buggy one time and fed it what did he feed it? Beano.
Beano from, what was the store? It was like a Costco.
BJ's.
Mitch Floria, the owner, does business. He came to this country in the early 2000s.
He couldn't get rid of it.
And decided Beano wanted to be in the granite business. So
he
started
the horse would farm
in your home. And then he makes that.
Oh my God. Roy Moy arrived at his polling station
He has or else
on horseback, named Sassy.
and he'll send you the wholesale price. You know, he doesn't make any money on the granite.
I don't know who's going to win that one,
And then
man.
he fabricates it for you.
And then if they do win, do you think they'll seat him?
Worry about those.
They'll see them without an investigation.
I hope they just don't even seat him and then pick a new one.
Why don't you go to an artist and a guy who'll give you rock bottom prices?
Why not?
You buy it.
Well, you got to have an investigation.
Come on.
Now, 303-386-5919. I promise you, if you
Study. Over 90% of Trump TV coverage is negative. No shit, Fred.
Well, you cover a negative guy, you gotta be.
Oh, here he goes, Mr. Clinton.
This stucco lady, calling up the stucco, she's being way too damn nice. The same phone number for the inspection company is the name of the company that does the stucco work.
So why keep putting it
Well,
on?
they're not a real inspection company.
Do you know paying mortgage?
What do you mean?
They don't even own an infrared.
So you're saying they're saying the stucco sucks because they want to sell their stucco?
Exactly. The two pieces of equipment you need is a moisture probe,
Why do they call
an
themselves
infrared.
an inspection company?
$200 most to own those two pieces of equipment. They didn't have it.
Infrared. No, I thought she said deflection.
There's an infrared. I talked to another stucco company, another inspector.
So what they do is they go out, they say they're an inspection, they just go out and write a false report and say your stucco needs replaced. And here's $1,300 off.
Yeah.
$1,300 off.
The carpet info is very interesting and helpful.
I saw that.
Okay, what does she want to know? Okay, office.
She wants to know about flooring. If you pull up
Well, then
carpet,
ask questions.
yeah, I will. If you pull up carpet from a commercial building, and then you want to put down LVT or something, so let's say it's a showroom, what do you have to do?
Grind the glue off.
That's what they want to know. That's a big, and would you put LVT or would you put something else in a high traffic commercial area? Like what's in your
commercial
show?
carpet? I have carpet and LVT. Because I want.
We were just talking about
I had LVT in the Goodyear, and that shit was great, man.
We were just talking about that. It has to be commercial LVT.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It looked just like wood.
But all carpet doesn't have glue in it. It's usually saying
Most all commercial.
Commercial carpet.
You glue down commercial.
You don't put padding.
Right.
If it's money that you're looking at, you can buy I mean, they've got nylon carpet on the concourses of VIA.
Most
Right.
commercial carpet is
You can
just
buy.
home carpet turned upside down.
That's good, Mark.
Doesn't look very good, but
You didn't know that, did you?
You know what we tell our installers?
I wish I didn't know it.
You know how we train our installers, Mark? We bring them in and we say, okay, the first step of carpet install is fuzzy side up.
Fuzzy side.
Fuzzy side up.
Okay, and we're going to test at the end of this.
Padding on bottom.
Fuzzy side? No,
Fuzzy side up.
that's a joke with a new sod crew.
Do you guys still do business with the window company? You used to do it. No, you went to Champion. K&H.
Yes, they're good people.
They've been on their for list forever and a day.
So K&H, when I was like 20 years old, the owner of it
Larry
was
or Ted. Oh, no, that was the old man, Larry. I mean,
him and my dad became friends.
K&H was, the original owner.
25 years ago.
Yeah,
I met him and went
he's a
fishing
great
with
guy.
him.
Hi, Tom Martino
here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. We have Buddy Mitchell with us, and we do have some email questions. I want to get to somebody who's been waiting a while. Chris, go ahead. What's going on, Chris?
So, hi. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Chris. Sorry for the wait. What's happening?
So, I bought a truck 3 months ago, and it it started misfiring on the freeway.
Is it you, sir?
Yes.
I hate asking the same old questions. It was as is, I assume?
Yeah, but they never offered a warranty.
It doesn't matter. It was as is, though. I mean, you agreed to buy it as is.
Okay.
I mean, you did, right? I mean, you're saying they didn't know for a warranty, but that's not mandatory. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. It's mainly people listening. I want them to know if they buy something as is, most of the time, they're responsible for what happens to that vehicle unless it was somehow misrepresented or you were defrauded. And before we go on, you're going to say that did happen, right? It was misrepresented?
Yeah.
And you were defrauded, right?
Right.
Okay. How? Because fraud and misrepresentation would be we could probably get something done if we can prove that. But Chris, I just want to caution you. Most everyone who has a used truck or car where something goes wrong, most every one of them says they've been lied to or defrauded. So, but sometimes we can prove it, sometimes we can't. Do you have an ad, for example, that says runs perfectly or no problems or anything like that?
No, I just took the supposedly mechanic's word.
Okay.
They have there.
Did they have a mechanic right there?
Yeah, they have a shop there.
And did the mechanic tell you what?
He didn't tell me anything. They just said that it runs fine.
It runs fine.
Which, yeah.
What's wrong with it? Do we know?
It needs a new motor.
What? Hold on, man. How many miles on this thing?
130.
You should have had it checked, did you?
That's why I figured the mechanic there would do, but obviously they don't.
Yeah, they don't because, I mean, they don't for you. You know what I mean? If you had an independent inspection, what's wrong with it that it needs a new engine? Because if it needs a new engine, how did it pass emissions?
That's what I mean. I've already put down in it $900.
Well, you shouldn't have put anything in it yet. When you bought the truck, give me a little story here. You bought it 3 months ago. Did you get an emission sticker?
Yeah, they had the emissions already done.
And I thought you were supposed to get a new one.
That's what I thought.
It was already done. Okay, and then
they can have a new one.
And then you had you're saying they can have one with time left on it? I thought they had to get a reinspection.
No, I'm saying they could have went out and had it done. They could have got a new one.
So, Chris, let's get right to it. You had no problems until now, and then you need a new engine, or was it giving you problems the whole time?
No, it wasn't giving me problems up until 2 weeks ago.
Okay, what happened 2 weeks ago?
I was driving down a freeway at 70 miles an hour and started knocking.
And were there any idiot lights?
The check engine light came on.
And what did you do?
I gimped it home, and then I had it towed the next day.
And what did the mechanic say? And this mechanic you trust?
Yes.
And what? 303-963-9201, and on my referral list at referralist.com.
This is Denver's talk station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. KHOW, Denver.
A call for Congress to investigate the president. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Dozens of women in Congress say past claims of sexual misconduct against President Trump should be taken seriously. This as he criticizes one lawmaker who's calling on him to resign over the claims. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Lisa, President Trump went after Senator Kirsten Gillibrand on Twitter, saying she'd do anything to get campaign contributions. Gillibrand calls it a sexist smear. Representative Jackie Speer called the tweet grotesque.
It took my breath away, and it represents the conduct of a person who is ill-equipped to be the President of the United States.
Speer among a group of Democratic lawmakers calling for an investigation into accusations of sexual misconduct by the President. The White House says the allegations are not credible. Lisa.
Thanks, Rachel. Meantime, the President moving on to funding for the military, signing a defense bill.
This legislation represents a momentous step toward rebuilding our military and securing the future for our children.
The bill authorizes nearly $700 billion, including the largest pay raise for the military in 8 years, but Congress still has to approve the actual funding. During that bill signing, the President also calling again for the end of an immigration program that brought a New York bombing suspect to the U.S. on a family visa from Bangladesh. Federal prosecutors announcing charges against Aqaed Ullah.
Yesterday, Ullah stood in the tunnels under the Port Authority plotting to kill. Today, he stands charged with federal crimes of terrorism.
U.S. Attorney June Kim says Ullah told them he was radicalized as early as 2014 by ISIS propaganda online and had been researching bomb making for about a year. Fox News, fair and balanced.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond.
I need iTed's email.
You need to learn the lesson.
I'll write to her.
She can wrap something at Christmas. Surprise to me. She buys her own Christmas gift.
That's what
every year.
Stephanie
Karen open
does.
presents early?
No.
Stephanie
She
is
doesn't let me
wrapping
open
her own
presents.
gift.
You wait till Christmas.
Oh, tell that to Mark.
What? We wait till Christmas too, but it's always
Not Mark. He
Mark?
just gets what he wants.
What's your problem? Yeah.
No, I have to wait. We have to wait till Christmas.
Hey, did you go buy it yourself?
Of course.
And did she have? Can she go just buy something herself?
Yeah, of course.
Then what's the problem?
I have no idea.
Isn't this great? Dow up 142, NASDAQ.
My wife buys her own Christmas.
Why did what's Microsoft there? It was smoking today.
With that lady with the Starkle stand? She's way too damn nice. These people, she got it.
What do you think happened?
Why
did that? Did someone come out today?
You're not gonna be that nice to him. Weird.
Wow. All I care is about the Dow.
Refund, she got nothing.
Care about the Dow?
On that stuff, thing, she got nothing.
Did you talk to him about it?
No, I got a message or two.
Oh, I thought maybe you had a ETF or something.
Like a spider or something. Working to an antibiotic that I took yesterday.
Oh my God.
Barked my guts out for about 10 hours. It ruptured some vocal cords. I couldn't believe it. 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up last night and was fine. After that, I got rid of it. No, I'm not going to come in here and bring you guys a
30% off new windows, 25% off new siding and sunroofs, plus 60 months low interest financing. Don't miss the Champion Winter Wow Sale going on now.
Can't wait to find out from that VA thing why. There must be
This
some.
holiday season, make a smart choice and switch to
Maybe not. They can't take him in until he's sober.
I'm wondering if stuff just like that, just like a lot of these
Yeah,
places.
I'll just find out what the rules are.
That's probably, yeah, but what do they do if he gets sober and he goes into
They
a,
have detox.
Well, his friend Joey said that he's been to the detox, that they took him. They never questioned it.
No, I don't think they said they took him to detox. They took him in for other mental health issues.
Well, they took him to detox, but it wasn't for alcohol. It was for something else.
I didn't think, did he actually say that?
Yeah.
You talked to him?
Yeah, I said, what are you trying to get him into? And he said, detox. He says, I said, well, maybe there's some maybe they don't do detox there. He said, no, they did meet your detox. So, I don't know what.
What is this house that you guys work with? What is that?
oh, the Raleigh House.
What do they do?
Anything. It's private.
It's expensive.
Yeah, if you have insurance, it's a lot of
I'm
money.
consumer advocate Tom Martino for margin tax
They probably
relief. I've been
understand
fighting
they
for
do a wonderful
consumers for more
job.
than 30 years in all areas of business.
Gotta go have
Except
something
when it
on
comes
with
to
it,
the IRS, I refer
like
them
20
to
really,
margin
this guy's
tax
got a
relief.
story.
If you owe back taxes, if it's been years since you
on
filed,
the
these
floor.
guys are the
He's
best.
a
They're
person.
smart. They have a fantastic team of experts and will understand your situation. Their says it all.
I don't think they have white black.
Groper.
What color is yours?
Groper. Huh?
Is that white?
Yeah.
Is your phone white?
Yeah. Line 1 is getting married.
Is my phone white? Yeah, they call it
Space gray?
Is it white? It's silver.
Oh, I'll take silver.
With a white face.
Line 1 is getting married. He hasn't signed the contract with Ameristar yet, and he just wanted some advice.
Ameristar is.
Yeah, they want to get married at Ameristar.
Tell them to run like hell.
I already did.
Marriage or Ameristar?
Marriage. What's he, crazy?
You were Daphne up here? Her phone was unplugged. That's why the phone was
I got marriage perfect the third time.
I'm glad you called.
Can I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What are you doing? If you're getting in trouble, call us. If you need help, information, referrals, call us. I'm Tom Martino, consumer advocate for 40 years, longest-running radio show with the same host, and we love the idea that we've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services over the 40 years or so. So let's talk to our guest today, Buddy Mitchell, Simply Floors. We had some questions. We talked about carpeting. I urge you to get the podcast, really. It's very educational if you're buying carpeting. Don't depend on anyone else to give you the lowdown. Get the lowdown and then go shop. I'm not saying everyone's lying to you, but they can push off carpet that'll just be worthless to you if you don't do your homework.
We had a commercial.
If you go to Simply Floors, that won't happen.
We had a lady call in that says she has a commercial building, and there's commercial-grade carpet there. They want to get rid of it. It's a very high-traffic area. They want something like LVT, but what do they got to do to the floor when they
vinyl tile LVT. Go ahead.
Yep, when they rip up that old carpet, there's going to be glue. It's not going to be even. You got to get in there and scrape it, don't you?
Yeah, you got to get in there and scrape it.
Do you guys do that, or is that something somebody else does?
Do you do all the subfloor treatment?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay, now do you ever have to then float the floor to make it level?
Yes, we do it all the time.
Okay, so that's what you would do. You would if it needs floating, you'll float it and you'll clean it.
Yeah, you have to get it level.
And what would you do for a showroom like that? Let's say a 7-Eleven or something. What do you do for a high-traffic area like that?
Like, what does the airport do?
Well, the airport does ceramic tile, right?
Okay,
and then in the concourses, if you look at the carpet, that's about a 28-ounce 6/6 nylon.
That's all it is?
Yeah. It's just really, well, they just tie it into a knot. They take the yarn and they basically tie it in a knot and make it really, really pulled down and tight, and then the yarn doesn't move.
And what are those big flat commercial floors? Are they granite or what? What are they that you see that are shiny and...
Those are a lot of times stained concrete, or they might be granite.
Or polished concrete?
Polished concrete,
I see what you're saying. Okay, so...
In the old days, like in the schools and stuff, though, those were like asbestos, right? Or connected with asbestos? Or made with it? What are those?
Well, back...
Those big tile things.
In the ceiling you're talking about, Mark?
No, on the floor, like my elementary school, I'm sure
they
had
never
them.
used asbestos for floors, did
Absolutely.
they? Did they?
Yeah, anything built before 1978.
Oh, you're talking about vinyl, though,
yeah.
like a vinyl...
VCT.
Yeah. Linoleum of some sort.
Yeah.
It was VCT that they had asbestos in, and if you have a home that's older than 78 and you have VCT in your basement, don't touch it. Because if you do, then the asbestos comes up
Luxury
in the air.
vinyl tile, would that last in the airport? The planking?
I don't know that it would last there.
Why?
Well, it's vinyl.
It's pretty strong, though.
It's really strong. And they make commercial-grade vinyl. I mean, they do. And I don't know of any that would take that much traffic, like a million people in a day.
All right. So let's go back to Chris now. Chris, we've been racking our brains here, and here's the bottom line. If you buy an as-is vehicle and you keep it 3 months and the engine goes out, there's almost nothing I think you can get this dealer with unless we had absolute proof the dealer knew that it had a bad engine and somehow rigged it so it sounded good for 3 months. You know, like, I don't know how that would happen. As-is means just that. Did you call the dealer to appeal to that dealer to see if they would do anything out of goodwill?
Yeah, I tried. I went in Saturday to see if they'll trade it, and they're trying to put a new loan on top of the loan I already have.
Yeah, but basically you're going to end up buying another car.
I don't understand
They're
why
not going to give you a dime for that car.
It was 3 months. Why do you think they knew something like this would happen to that vehicle?
Yeah, why do you think they're responsible is what we're asking, straight up, Chris.
Because I figured that the mechanic would actually look at, like, spark plugs
what if he did?
Stuff like that.
So maybe he did.
But that's not what happened to the vehicle.
Chris, do you realize that mechanic could have done a full inspection and still not foreseen the problems?
Right.
I mean, it sucks. And even if you had it checked, I'm not saying that would have caught the problem. But most likely, a good pre-inspection would have told you that something's up with compression, oil analysis, and all of that. But checking spark plugs, that doesn't tell you anything. Do you think, and if they trade this in, I just want to tell you, Chris, if they trade it in, they're giving you nothing for that car. They're just going to take another car, and they're going to put a loan on, and you're going to be paying double for that.
Yeah. They're only going to give me $7,600 for that truck.
They're not going to. No, they're not. Okay, but I'm saying in reality, if they're going to give you $7,600, what do you owe on it?
$14,000.
You owe $14,000. Okay.
Yeah, I've only made one payment.
All right, so they're going to give you $7,600. So you're going in. You're going to have $7,400. I mean, $6,400 negative, right?
Yeah.
And then they're going to give you a new loan. If they would just give you a car truly for what they paid for it, and then add that $6,400 into it, it wouldn't be as terrible. But they're not. They're going to probably charge you top dollar on the other car.
Yeah.
I don't think. First, I wonder how much this truck truly is worth. I mean, what year is it?
It's an 07.
What kind?
It's a F-150 Harley Davidson edition.
Oh man, I don't think it's worth 70. So they're lying to you about that, in my opinion.
Exactly.
They're not giving you $7,600 for that truck. They're not giving you anything for that truck.
No.
They're going to take a 14. Man, I don't know how they're going to do the numbers, but what did they end up with? How much would your new loan be with another vehicle?
$23,000.
23 for what kind of car?
For a Chevy Silverado.
And what year?
GM 09.
And did you get it checked?
I haven't gotten it checked because I can't get approved for a loan.
Oh,
so yeah, that's why I'm trying to do an equal trade or something.
Well, what an equal trade? Your truck's not worth anything, you know? That's the problem. You may have to do a bankruptcy. I hate to tell you that, but you may have to. I mean, how are you going to pay this for nothing? You're going to literally be paying for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
God, this sucks. Do you have any other vehicle?
Yeah, but I got a car payment on that too. So.
How much do you owe on that other vehicle?
$10,000.
And how much is it worth?
Oh, jeez, I'm not 100%. I've had that one for at least over a year.
Here's what I'm thinking: if you do a Chapter 13, Chapter 13. If something is worth nothing, you may not have to pay. You may want to talk to Wink and Wink. That's all I can think about. I mean it. That's how screwed you are, Chris. But if you really did talk to Wink and Wink, and you told them the situation, and you could do a 13, it's possible that the car you own right now that's running could be written down, and the other one could be written down to where you'd owe hardly anything. Think about that, Mark. If they do value on a loan and they write it down, that second truck may be worth $0. He'd have to pay.
Well, it is worth $0. They're not going to. They're not going to do anything with that. They're not going to. The trustee's not going to mess with that.
Right. So, which means he might get out of this thing and even get a lower payment on his other car. Chris, I know you don't want to hear it, but that's one of the things I would consider a bankruptcy, because you got screwed big time. And this, in my opinion, is what bankruptcy is for. It's for people who need a fresh start because they got screwed somehow, or they had a death in the family, or a divorce, or something happened. I shouldn't say it's not for everyone. It is for everyone. Even the idiots who charge up their credit cards and say, "Oh, you know, I'm living high on the hog." You know, that puts a bad taste in my mouth. But you know, a lot of consumer debt when you know you're going under. But it's there for everyone. But it's especially, I think, gratifying when somebody can get out of a situation that they got into. If you want to check it out, Mike and Gigi, they're good people. They really are. 303-410-1720. 410-1720. winkandwink.com. All right, Tony wants out of a contract with a real estate person. Is that right? And yes. And why do you want out, Tony?
Well, it's not me. It's my friend. But
that's right. Why does your friend want out?
Well, she doesn't trust him at all.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't either. If he said you have to use my lender, in my opinion, there's some kind of collusion there. He's insisting that?
I don't believe he said that he had to. I mean, I don't believe that. I mean, he had told her that he knew he could get better financing from a different lender, which...
But not
was
the
actually
incentives.
true.
What are some of the incentives she's missing out on?
There was about $6,000 in incentives on the lot, and then it was a new home. There were several incentives with putting in certain packages. So...
You know, that brings up a
14, 20
question.
grand.
That brings up a question. Can a home builder hold you to a lender in order to get those incentives? I mean, I'm assuming the answer is yes, because they've been doing it for years, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, can they hold you to what?
Can they say, if I go to I always say U.S. Homes, Lennar,
Yeah.
and say, hey, I want to buy this brand new home, they say, okay, that's great, we'll give you a free cabinet upgrade, free hardwood upgrade, but you have to use our lender.
Yeah, they can do that. For sure they can, yeah.
Okay, can a real estate agent do the same, is what I'm asking. So if I hire Frank Duran, and Frank Duran says, hey, I can get you this house for this much, but you have to use my lender. Can a real estate agent push someone onto a lender just like a home builder
I
can?
don't see, hold on, if it's fully disclosed, I don't see why not, if it's fully disclosed.
Like, in other words, if Frank's buying and selling a house for me.
If it's fully disclosed, if they say, if you use my lender, I can get some incentives.
Okay.
I don't see why.
I don't know if you can or not.
I think if they push you to a lender and are making money off of it and don't disclose it, it's a problem. But I'm not sure of this.
That is a problem.
What
Absolutely. Real estate agents can't make money on the backside.
Right. But I'm not even sure if they disclose it if it's right. I think it's all right because I'm not thinking of any law that would be violated. If you said, for example, my lender, our lender, if you do this, if I get,
it's going to save me some money on my new loan that I'm going to buy my new house with. That would be the perfect example.
Maybe. 303-713-TALK. I don't know. But Tony, hold on. I think, I want to find out who this real estate person is and the specific reason. But the truth is, like with Frank Duran, the real estate man, he doesn't hold anyone to a long-term contract. And I always say, if you're going to use somebody, and they will, I would insist on that from everyone. Now, that doesn't mean that if they show you a house, like if Frank Duran showed you a house that you loved or brought buyers to you, and then you fire him because he doesn't hold you to the contract, then goes back to that client, that's wrong. I'm not talking about that. But any real estate person should let you out of a contract, no questions asked, and the only time they should be concerned is if you go and get one of those clients that they brought to you. That would be totally wrong. But in most cases, like Frank Duran doesn't even question it. He says, give me 1 day. It's called a one-day listing. And if you love me, if you don't love me, you can cancel. And that's the way he does it. No one does. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. We'll come back and talk to Tony about that. I first want to tell you about stem cells. Stem cell treatment. You have basically, it's all come down to two different methods. You have I call them the chiropractors and the other health providers that are not MDs that use nurses and amniotic fluid because they have found there's a market for it. So they ship in this fluid and they use it. And it has growth factors. It comes from living stem cells, but it's not stem cell therapy, and it does not have the same benefits. I insist that you look for MDs and guided injections and living stem cells, and the only way to get living stem cells is to harvest them right there at the office from you, either from your bone marrow, and it's a painless procedure. They do it either bone marrow or they do it from your fat cells. And when they do that, you have living stem cells then redelivered to the points that you need them. And it's the only way I would do it. And I would use Centeno Schultz, who have proven themselves with 14,000 patients in their data bank. They've been doing it the longest, one of the first clinics ever. Dr. Chris Centeno claims to be the first doctor to ever use stem cells. You've heard me talk about this a lot. And he has records of knees and hips and backs and shoulders and hands and most ACL tears that he has taken care of with a needle instead of a knife. So before you have surgery, consult Centeno Schultz, and before you go to any of these other seminars, consult Centeno Schultz, 303-963-9201. Now, I'm not saying amniotic fluid has zero benefit. I'm saying that they are not living stem cells. 303-963-9201.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Big traffic story is the
Closure of I-70 and
my wife's one too.
I thought it was a builder, not a realtor that's making these wonders.
I'll tell you something that's unbelievable. You ready? What? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. If I hire Frank to find me a house, and Frank knows there's a registered sex offender next door to that house, he fucking can't tell me that. He can't disclose it, but yet he works for me. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's outrageous. It's a law they passed. I think it's called Megan's Law.
They can't disclose it, but it's public information.
Yeah,
It is public information, but the realtor that I hire cannot tell me, which I think is absolute bullshit.
So what
You know what the biggest bullshit? You run for public office in Colorado.
We should have Frank on and ask him about Megan's Law and ask him if they can suggest lenders.
Forgotten a cold shoulder from a service.
You get thrown on that list
We want to be known.
of sex offenders if you run for public office in Colorado.
What?
Happened to me.
For hot showers.
Of course it happened to you, but that doesn't happen.
And
So you're telling me our governor is on the sex offender registry?
I don't know if they did it to him, but they did it to a bunch of us in 2010. I've got copies of them. I'll bring them. And we didn't have to pay for trash service for 2 years. Little British guy in a white Astro van came and picked up our trash every Tuesday for us.
Just sex offenders? Just sex offenders?
No, it's just dirty politics stuff they pull on.
What's up, you should trash, that's not, that's
You should run as a Republican next time and not
That's
a
what I
Democrat.
did. That was the problem. Yeah, that's what I did. That was
That's what you get for running on the Bernie Sanders ticket.
The Bernie Sanders. Hey, I just had somebody a couple months ago have 2 trucks that had engines go bad in both of them. He went to a wrecking yard, bought engines with 100,000 on them for $500. For another 500, they put them in the wrecking yard. That's why I just gave this Chris guy. Just went to buy some. One was an 03 Silverado, and the other was a fairly new, like an 011 F-150.
I had a friend of mine that went to Lake McConnell.
Do you care if I ever get Frank on? See if you can get Frankie on. He hasn't been on for a while.
This guy was backing his boat into a couple of weeks ago into Lake McConaughey. He stopped, and the boat came loose on the trailer, and he freaked out, and he thought he put it in drive to pull out and hit it in reverse, and boom, right in the water, blew his engine.
Oh, the whole pickup went in there?
Yeah. Well, he was all the way in, right? And all of a sudden, and so he looked back, and his boat, the waves hit his boat. He panicked. He put it in. He thought he put it into drive, but he was still in reverse, and punched it, and whoosh, went right into the water.
Did you know
water came up, cold water came up on his hot engine, seized his engine.
Well, it'll suck it here and take it.
There ain't no man can't save me. There ain't no man can enslave me.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, why does your friend want out of the real estate? She doesn't trust him for what reason?
Well, because he basically told her she could get the right financing based on his commitment overriding that, and then after she had to back out of it because permit was not pulled and she lost that, he went in and accused them of lying to them. And
so where does it stand right now? Where does the transaction stand right now?
That transaction was canceled. I went in afterwards because he said...
Well, hold on. Did she really want the house?
Yes, but they couldn't get permit pulled. There was a problem with getting the permit pulled for that lot.
But that has nothing to do with the realtor.
That's correct. That's
right. Okay, she should just write a letter saying she's canceling. How long is the contract?
Till June of next year.
Wait.
And he did do that, and he said, no, we're on contract till next year.
So this idiot, even though she hates him, he's going to hold her to that contract.
That's correct.
What's this idiot's name? And by the way, I want everyone to know, even though it's legal to hold someone to a contract, he's an idiot.
Now,
because here's why. She does not like him. She doesn't want to use him. There's a bad relationship. There is no good can come from it. Even if he finds her something, she's going to say, I never liked him, and if he doesn't find something, it's worse. There's nothing good that can come from that.
I agree, but I'll put a caveat on it. If this guy actually spent a lot of money with Zillow on house cleaners and prep and pictures and all this stuff.
He's not listing, he's buying.
Oh, well, then you let him out.
Period. Isn't he a buying agent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it's stupid.
He's an idiot. She doesn't want to use him. She doesn't want to sit in a car with him. I can't believe this is the most idiotic. What's his name? I really think these people should be exposed, because that means he is holding you captive even though he knows it's not going to benefit. He's doing it as a punishment. Who is it?
His name's Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, and who is he with?
It's his own, he actually is a broker owner.
Well, okay, then he's going to go down in flames. What an idiot. His name is Chris Tucker.
Well, let's call him and see if he has a different thought.
Can we call him and see if truly he is that idiotic, Chris Tucker? She wants out of the contract. What harm can it do him? And what good will it do him? It's the worst thing that could happen. She will not use him. She can't stand him. Isn't that right, Tony?
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
I've never heard of not letting him out on that side.
Now, here's something, though. If he is the one that showed her a property and took the bull by the horns, and then she goes back to that owner, that would be wrong. Now, the builder is questionable, because why can't she simply go and do the contract with that builder now, with him, and just use their lender? Why? Now that it's canceled, why can't she write a new deal?
They actually did that after he went in and accused him of lying.
So,
I went back
hold on.
After they transferred her earnest money to a new contract.
Okay.
They did that.
And
they were going to pay him.
Oh, good. Then everything's cool.
Right. But then after she did the walkthrough, because it wasn't her spec home, she did not like it during the walkthrough, so she backed out because
okay, but that's not his fault. What I'm asking, the original home she wanted, can she rewrite the contract on that one and just use their lender to get the incentives?
At this point, I don't know, because everything was canceled.
Because, well, there's not... Yeah, but if it's not sold, she can rewrite it.
Well, the prices went up since then. So they have to find out if they can rewrite it, because now permit has been pulled, and I found that out just yesterday.
Well, she's got to find that out. Now, technically, listen, technically on this deal, that real estate broker, that broker is in on this deal, because he was the one in from the beginning. Now, he did screw it up a little, but then he got him to rewrite it, and really, truly, I don't think she should try to do this deal without him, but if she doesn't want this deal, he should let her out for future deals.
That's true, but he didn't rewrite this. I went in and I had him rewrite it under the new contract to try and save the earnest money. He told her that we went behind his back to do this.
Well, you did go behind his back to do it, because he didn't do it.
Correct, but that's because he had told us we needed to get an attorney to get our earnest money back. So we took that as he's washing his hands of it, he's done.
Well, in a way, he was right. You do have to get an interpleader done to get your earnest money back. They were claiming you defaulted. But here's the deal. This whole thing was done wrong to begin with, even on her part, okay? She's not Lily White. This whole thing isn't perfect. You know, she should have insisted on using their lender. She let herself be talked into it. But I still think, in my opinion, because Chris Tucker has caused such unbelievable consternation, this guy is an idiot. That's what he is. He's an idiot. So I stand by that. My opinion, Chris Tucker, real estate man, is an idiot. That's my opinion. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Rick, what's going on with you, Rick?
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
What's happening?
Hey, I just wanted to call and give some kudos out
Good, man. To who?
To the carpet doctor, Mike Ross.
What did he do?
clean my carpet.
Oh, he's the 139 guy.
He's the one guy.
Exactly.
He came in here and he said he does any house for a flat rate of 139. And I said, what if it's about a big house? He says 139. What if it's a giant house? 139. What if it's a small house? 139. I said, how can you possibly do that? He says it works, and he's been doing it, and he's busy, and he has a great business, and he's on the referral list. So tell me about it. How was it?
Well, yeah, as soon as Mark, I think it was Mark, gave the number out.
Yeah.
I was stopped at a stoplight. I called, and it wouldn't go through, but when I got to my house, I called again, and then he answered. I guess he was probably out of your studio by then.
And 139.
I made an appointment I beg your pardon?
He did it for 139.
Yes, 139. I actually gave him a $20 tip. He did such a good job.
No, he's so good. Yes, it's unbelievable to me.
And he doesn't try to upsell anything.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
No, absolutely not, Mark. No upsell whatsoever. He didn't suggest, let me do your furniture here as well.
Okay,
he said, what rooms do you want me to clean? And I said, these rooms. And he goes, okay. I have a 2,200 square foot house, and he cleaned probably about 4 rooms out of 6 with carpet. He was done in 2 hours.
Okay, so you wanted to give a kudo. You wanted to give a kudo to someone else because I'm running out of time. Who is it?
Yes, the Raleigh House. My brother-in-law went through the Raleigh House program as an alcoholic, and he did the 6-month treatment, and then he did 30 days transition, and for him it worked very, very well.
I didn't know they had 6 months for that. I thought it was 3 months, but maybe it varies based on different things. But
maybe it is, but I just remember him being away for quite a long time.
Is he doing well?
He hasn't. Oh, he's doing very well. He hasn't had a drop of liquor in probably about 2 years now.
Oh, that is so cool to hear.
Yeah. So very, very, very well treated.
Good.
They really help with diet. When he came out of that program, I never seen him look, and I've known him for 20 years. I've never seen him look so good.
That's so cool.
So good. His skin looked, his eyes looked good.
Good. Well,
they just really helped him out with everything.
Thank you for all of that feedback. It's wonderful to hear. Thank you. And, of course, Carpet Doctor is on my referral list, referrallist.com, and the Raleigh House is on my referral list. And I want to talk to Frank Duran coming up about a really weird situation that we ran into with real estate, and I wonder if he knows about it. And Mark, it bugs the hell out of me.
Oh, man, I'm fired up.
We'll talk about it coming up. And it's just one of those things. But first, telling you about Pro Auto Care. Pro Auto Care, 25 years in business, always run by the one and only Al Aramis. And Pro Auto Care prides themselves at being your friend in the car maintenance business, meaning they keep you apprised of the status of your maintenance by email or text, friendly reminders when things are needed, how they're needed, why they're needed, and then they keep accurate records. So if you go to sell your car, you can have them printed out, or if you ever have a warranty issue, you can prove you maintained your car. Of course, they do emergency repairs as well. They do roadside assistance for every customer. Automatically, you get their warranty and roadside assistance in between all repairs. Well, it lasts 3 years and 36,000 miles, so most likely it's in between all of your maintenance. 303 Pro Auto, 2 locations near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. 303 Pro Auto, or the website, same as the number, 303proauto.com.
From the Fox Business Network.
It's amazing how cheap that guy is. Dan had him at his house.
Did he do a good job?
Yeah. I mean, I wore carpet and stuff, but it was a good job, yeah.
He didn't move furniture?
No, that's the big thing.
The phones blew up. Blew up. Can't keep up with them, says Pete Scheinberg.
Not everybody thinks mega malls are a thing of the past.
Pete Scheinberg does bathroom remodeling as far as he does. His claim to fame.
Okay, he's the guy with the bath.
He replaces the tub and the wall system, basically, or he converts the shower into a tub into a shower, and then he does the toilet, if you want, or the fixtures. but he does. He'll do basically anything, but his claim to fame is that shower enclosure.
Just a walk-in tub.
Put that new drywall up, and then that new wall system that looks like tile or granite, but it's really high class looking stuff. But there's no maintenance to it. It's really nice. They're sheets.
So K&H, my dad, I had a booth at the Home and Garden show right next to him 25 years ago. 25 years ago. And my dad was a big fisherman.
That's when I was with him.
My dad was a big fisherman.
But before that was the old guy. The old guy was 30 years old.
Yeah, this is about 25.
Seligman was his name. Henry Seligman.
All I know is the guy that was there was a fisherman, and him and my dad went ice fishing, and I went with them. And then when I went broke, I went and asked him for a job, and he said, "You've got to do stuff that any idiot can install." Because I showed him all the fancy stuff I do. He said, "You'll never make money in remodels." And he's like, but he did the bathroom inserts at the time, windows and things like that. He's like, "Yeah, you got to do that." And so I didn't realize that the fuzzy side up was
fuzzy side up. Keeping it simple.
Carpet is basically the fuzzy side up. If our installer does that, we're okay.
630K Howe.
So the guy you just mentioned, Tom, that's the guy that's do the walk-in tubs?
Yeah.
See, I don't think people realize walk-in tubs.
He talked to that stucco inspector. That guy's pissed.
What is he going to do? He owns the inspection company and Metro Stucco.
Yeah.
He uses that for a front to do it. He claims that he did do the thing.
He didn't give her the numbers.
He wouldn't give her the numbers.
Why?
I'm not going to give her because
should I get her back on the
she's
air?
being unethical, wanting to take stuff off the report. She has a flower bed too close to the house. He wanted to put that in inspection, that would cause Stucco problems. She didn't want that on the report.
Get her back on.
Liza.
But if he lets her put everything on, would he do it?
He's just,
is he chucking and jiving us?
He's just a jerk.
So why not see what they
Let's get him on. Get him on the show.
I said, you know what, you could have the
Well, that tells you he wouldn't even show up without $1,300.
Yeah. Well, you know,
he won't come on?
I don't know if he'll come on or not. No, he's not going to come on.
You got to tell
Suzanne call and see if he'll come
If
on.
she gets a refund on her credit card, he's going to sue her and sue us.
Good. If you want to spend that kind of money, go for it.
You know, you could be a hero here.
You got his number?
On the air
I'll
and
call
give
him.
her a refund on the air. Rather than you're getting
Suzanne has his
on the
number?
credit card
Switch
to
him
make
over
you
to
look good. He said, no, you're not going to make me. Nobody makes me.
You did talk to him. You got his number?
Oh, yeah.
I love talking to these guys.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
That's the phone number.
This is important, okay? This is important. We found out about that inspection, that stucco situation, but I want to talk to Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frankie, listen, Mark has a question for you, and this is an issue that's chafing his hide.
Yeah, so Frank, tell me if this is true, and I know it's true, but explain to me why. I was talking to a realtor over the weekend. They said if they were looking for a house for me, and they found a house for me, and somehow they knew a registered sex offender was right next to me or a couple houses over, that they could not disclose that to me. The person that hired them. Is that correct?
If they're working for you, Mark, as your buyer agent and they're your exclusive agent, they should tell you if they have knowledge of such things. They should tell you.
Okay, then I am totally blown away than what I heard this weekend.
What did you...
So exactly what I just said, that they cannot disclose. So what is this Megan's Law?
Well, let's look it up. What is Megan's Law? Do you know anything about it?
It's on the real estate contract, I assume.
Megan's Law. Mark, someone told you that they're not allowed to tell people about registered sex offenders in the neighborhood.
Yes, right? as the realtor.
Well, if they have knowledge, though, Mark, and they're representing you as they're your exclusive agent. In other words, you signed a buyer agency agreement.
Like I did with you.
Yeah. If they have knowledge of such a thing, they should disclose that to you. Now, if they're representing the seller and you're calling on a sign call and they're loyalty is to the seller. They should, you know, if you have questions...
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. That what you just said there makes perfect sense.
So maybe what made sense to you, Mark?
Well, the fact that if I hired Frank to sell my house and Frank knew there was a sex offender next to me, he wouldn't have to disclose that to any buyer. Correct, Frank?
Megan's Law says that a map provides it's just a map. That's all Megan's Law does. It addresses a map.
Well, I'm so lost now, I don't even know what to say.
Offenders are required to register. This is all Megan's Law.
So there's nothing with sex offenders and selling a house. Is that what you're telling me, Frank? Nothing.
No, we ran into a situation like this, Mark, actually a few months ago, and unfortunately, it was not only it was a really rough situation because I was listing the home, and apparently the person lived next door, and so the seller and I had to talk about this and decided it was better to just let whoever knew buy the home. We would disclose this, that the situation, not necessarily disclose the name, but disclose that they should check into this further.
But you can disclose the name. You can disclose anything you want, Mark. It's all public record.
No. Here's what Frank's saying. This is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. If you hired Frank to sell your condo,
right,
and there was a sex offender next door, and Frank knew there was a sex offender next door, does Frank, working for you, have to disclose to everybody looking at your condo there's a sex offender next door?
There's nothing that I see that requires him to do that.
I was told that there was. That's what I'm asking Frank.
You were told that he has to report. I thought you were saying just the opposite, Mark. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying just the opposite, that if you're buying a place, he's not allowed to tell you.
That's what I thought the argument was, Mark.
I was saying that, but then after Frank said that's not the case, I'm trying to understand what I was listening to.
Okay.
But Frank, in the scenario I just gave, do you have to tell everybody looking at the condo next door?
I don't think he does. I mean, I'm speaking out of ignorance. I'm just saying, I don't know. Is there any requirement that you tell him about the neighborhood, Frank?
No, Tom, there's not. But I would say this, though. This is what I would do. I would have a talk with that seller before it goes on the market and discuss what approach they wanted to take with whoever buys the home. In our situation, the person was next door, and we did not want to have a can of worms there. We wanted to make sure they at least understood the situation, and they were fine with it. They bought the home anyway.
But from a legal stance, you did not have to disclose that.
Not that I can find here. I'm fine. I'm looking.
No, this was just a judgment call between the seller and I, just discussing this ahead of time.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to hear it, honestly.
It's not a material defect of the home,
right?
And it's not...
but if I'm representing
you do have to represent something. I thought again. I have no knowledge. Is something about a murder?
Some states
or meth lab.
Some states.
Yeah, if I'm representing a buyer, and this is my buyer, and we have a buyer agency agreement, and I have knowledge of such a thing, I'm going to tell my buyer.
Of course you are. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. Listing a home, do you have to disclose it was a meth lab?
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. In fact, this also happened. I had a situation like this about a year ago, and what happened is, and this was what the gentleman that was living in the home was his nephew, and this was all news to the actual owner of the property. So the choice was he had to get it professionally cleaned out before we listed the home, or I could not personally take the listing.
Okay.
And we had to disclose it.
All right. So I hope that answers the questions. Now, Liza had an inspection done for her stucco, which was next to useless. Deputy Clint called that guy. The guy is not a pleasant guy. He's very upset because Clint says, "Why do you have the same number as a stucco contractor, Metro Stucco?" I mean, he basically, in my opinion, does this inspection so he can gather clients for his service. Did you know that he was not just an independent inspector? And I'm not saying that's illegal or anything else, but it just seems weird if you have an inspection company and then you also do the repairs. It could look like a conflict. What about you, Lisa or Liza?
I did not know until after I got the report and asked them to recommend some contractors to me.
Here is the reason. It was them, right? Here's the reason he said he didn't put the numbers on there. He said because you're unethical and you wanted him to remove things from the report. Is that right, Clint? Is that right? So the question is, did you want him to remove anything?
the only piece, and I actually stated that if it is unethical to remove, he can keep it in. But the one sentence I asked them to
which is what?
remove was the inspector feels that the stucco was installed incorrectly.
Well, that to me is a very important material fact.
But
very.
I don't know, was it just kind of a tirade at her? He'd been in business for 30 years and he'd not dealt with somebody as unethical as her, and he was on a tirade against us. And
okay. All right. Well, okay. You know, usually when people protest too much, that tells us something, because really all we're doing is looking for information. I mean, we're probably the guy's best friend if he would just give us information, but he got up in arms right away, so that just tells me something about it. That does. I don't know what, but I mean, so far you got an inspection that your experts are telling you the inspection is useless, and the guy wouldn't even show up until you paid $1,300, which is the most unbelievably bad way of doing business. He wouldn't even show up, right? Is that what you're telling me, Liza?
Yes.
So you really made some big mistakes too. Did you get a red flag at all about that, Liza?
I did. My issue.
Well, why didn't you go to another stucco inspector? There are really good ones out there.
I understand that.
Okay.
I read the Google reviews, and I was needing a stucco inspector to come immediately, because I actually have a prospective buyer, and I wanted to be able to let the buyer know.
Yeah, what you should do though is really, in this case, if you're still going to do this, I wouldn't get another inspection. I wouldn't get one. I would say to the buyer, there are some problems with this stucco that you need to investigate. That's what I would do. Because any inspection you do, if it's not accurate, you are opening yourself up for so much liability. And I'm talking 10 years down the road. You don't understand this. I mean, we're talking about something that, if this turns out to be a nightmare, you are taking the responsibility. And it's wrong. I mean, it's not wrong technically, but it's wrong because you are opening yourself up. I would simply say, I have reason to believe I have stucco problems. Liza, by the way, when you bought this, did you get a stucco inspection?
It was, yes, the stucco inspection was done after we bought the house. And the inspector missed.
So you knew you had problems then. But I would just tell them you have problems and let them do it. I really would. Okay? I mean, we're done with this problem. We can't do anything else. I think you should contest the charge. We are running out of time. Oh my goodness, I'm running behind. Am I done right now? All right, let's just take a quick break.
From the L&L.
He heard the show and called us.
I needed to say that. That is really important.
What?
The guy, he's the one that called us.
I called Tracy, the secretary, said there.
Okay. I shouldn't have interrupted you on something that important.
Yeah, I didn't
Don't ever feel. Always feel you can interrupt with
okay.
I didn't understand. What do you mean he called?
Lisa told me to call Tracy, who's the secretary. She said she's really nice. You'll get more information from her than you will from the owner, because the owner's a jerk. That's what she told me. So I called. Tracy wasn't there. And just left a message for her that I would call her back after 1 o'clock. And then this Scott, who I didn't even know who Scott was, she brought that thing in here. Called Scott, and Scott's on the phone. And I go in, and he's the stucco guy. So he heard the show.
I called there and he was out of the office.
No, that's what I got too. He may have called, the number he called in on too wasn't this number, so he may have called his cell phone or something. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't know.
So if he called here, wow, we should have got him on the show.
Oh, he wouldn't go on the show. He just, you couldn't talk to him. He just goes on a tirade. He said, no, you guys have already spoken. It's my turn.
You got to speak on the show. You want to get two sides of every story.
Yeah, well, Trying to tell him that. You couldn't interrupt him long enough to say that to him.
386-5919, artofgranite.net. Luxury with value.
Oh, how level does a floor have to be for vinyl?
For regular vinyl, perfect. For
LVT.
Well, LVT, you have to make the floor look like a piece of glass.
Really?
Unless you put in a waterproof core LVT. So what they did is they took LVT and they put it on a laminate base, a waterproof laminate base, and that stops you from having to make the floor look like a piece of glass. But on most commercial applications, you go in and you put down a floor leveler that when it dries as smooth as that glass, and then you can glue the LVT down to it. And that's the most durable pipe.
I remember the third question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so it's, there's...
I thought LVT goes in like that regular laminate snaps in.
That's the new stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so sheet vinyl companies about 10, 15 years ago started saying, okay, how can we make a better product? So they started cutting it into strips. The problem with that is you have to make the floor look like this countertop because it shows in every imperfection on the floor. So if you have a commercial house, if we came in here, tore out the carpet, and there was glue on it, and we glued the LVT down, as the LVT dried to the floor and glued itself down to the floor, you could see every rock, every dip, every flaw with it.
With the LVT, though?
Right, true LVT, yeah. Then about 5 years ago, a company called US Floors invented WPC, waterproof core LVT, and they basically took LVT and turned it into a laminate, right? And so then you snap that together, and when they came out with that 5 years ago...
That's when it went into planking?
Well, yeah, it was planks before, but LVT technically is about as thin as this black piece on the counter here. That's how thick it is. It's just a thin thing. So what they did is they came up with a waterproof core.
Oh, so the regular LVT is still very thin?
Well, it's a half-inch thick. So what they did then is they put it on a waterproof core, and that's Core-Tech.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Jacob, go ahead. What's going on, Jacob?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, big fan of the show. I listen to you every single day for the last several years.
Appreciate that.
So I'm getting ready to get married.
Congratulations.
Which is pretty awesome. Thank you. So we are in negotiation with the venue. And I'm not like real big on contracts and stuff. I don't do a whole lot of contracts, but it's a contract for a pretty big amount. But the wording in the contract and everything, is real. A little above my pay grade. You know what I mean?
Like what is concerning you right now?
So the few things that concern me is like, there's not really a total. There's a breakdown of the payments that would be due and what they're due. So if you can add up the payments to get the total. However, it doesn't really break down what's included in the price. So if you go onto the venue's website and everything like that, you can click on the package and it'll give you a breakdown.
Wait, in the contract, it does not specify what they provide?
Not really, no. It does specify, the food, and it does specify the event space. But if you click on the packages on the website, there's a lot of things like, it's at a hotel, so they give you a room for the night.
I was told I had the contract. I don't have it. Hold on. You need to have it. You need to have it specified. Now, Mark is looking at the contract.
Right.
Okay. So I listen.
11 pages long.
I know, and we're not going to give you legal advice on the contract, but what I'm going to tell you is whether I would sign it or not. I can tell you that. So, but if you really want legal advice, obviously you need someone to pour over that thing. But
well, Tom.
Yes.
Also, we've never gotten any complaints on Ameristar.
Yeah, it's not so much that though. I mean, I don't understand. You're saying it doesn't specify anything. What are you supposed to get?
Well, according to the package, they have several different packages. And the one that we have selected, says buffet and an open bar for 2 hours.
But does it say that in the contract?
No, all it says is food cost is $6,300.
But it doesn't talk about the open bar?
No, doesn't. say
Just have them put that stuff in there.
I mean, you have to have him specify. Wait, somewhere it says what that package is. Does the contract at least specify the package?
No.
Then
there's my issue.
Well, you're not signing anything then. Yeah, okay. You're answering your own question. You're a smart guy. I'm serious, Jacob. I think you know. It's not mentioning, okay, because the package mentions a certain food and open bar. So what if they come to you after signing this contract and say, you don't get an open bar? What would you say? Well, you told me it did, and the contract doesn't say one word about it.
Just tell them to put an addendum on here that points to whatever you're talking about, the package.
Sure. That's exactly what I kind of thought. I listen to you guys every day, and I respect.
And you know, Jacob, all contracts are negotiable, and if they're not, that tells you something.
But they're a pretty big operation. Just ask them to do it. No big deal.
I want to mention something. So while you're doing that, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to mention on that stucco deal, that guy called in voluntarily. We did not call him. He called us, right? Isn't that right? That's good. So that shows a good sign that he was pissed off enough to call in about his name. I just want to make that clarification because I said he was giving us a hard time, and when people protest too much, it might tell you something. But he called in on his own, so he must have heard this woman and got upset that she was complaining about him, and then he said she's unethical, and that's the reason the report was lacking stuff. I just wanted to make that little minor correction there. John wants to buy appliances and he needs recommendations. I would say that this is a good thing, but we don't have time to answer it, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. If you want appliances, there are about 2 or 3 places I would shop. By the way, Buddy Mitchell, SimplyFloorsInc.com. Don't forget him. You'll save and you'll have great service and products. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Hi, I'm Kurt Cambier, author of the Amazon #1 selling book.
The referral list for appliances?
We don't have a store.
Don't have a store. Okay.
No.
It's just like, why would he be calling here if your whole show is about 2 years?
Ferguson is who I use.
Buddy, hanger floors. They're not on referral list, are they?
No.
You need to get on for. Yeah, we don't have a store. We have services. Okay. We have services. But does Jensen, or they used to have a store?
They don't have. Well, they have they might sell used stuff. But they don't.
Was Lefty Martin's a good store?
Yeah.
I always liked it.
And so was Fred Schmidt. Fred Schmidt was really good.
I loved Fred Schmidt. Yeah. I bought a TV from Fred Schmidt for $300 when I was first married, and they gave me 12 months Save financing, and we paid every month.
I remember that. I remember buying a TV, a color TV for $300. It was big money. Yeah. To carry that son of a bitch. I bought mine at Sears. You always remember those first people who granted you credit because you felt so important. The fact that I could walk out of that store with that and pay just a few bucks a month.
Money center, baby.
My wife was. I remember buying that TV. I mean, we were married like a month, and we went and bought this 36-inch.
I'll tell you, remember
for $300, and it was. We had to make payments of $30 a month.
The real memorable things when you're married, young married, and I was married 28 years to Donna, my first wife. The first things you remember: buying a car is a major deal. Buying, getting credit for a TV, and then you always remember your first pet together.